Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lesson 2 Reading Kanji live stream. Thanks for being here today.
ようこそ。
So let's take a look at Yuki's picture today, which you guys have already had a good look at. Can
Hi.
everyone guess what this is? What's going on here?
そう、今日もね、とても忙しいイラストになっております。
Today is also a very busy picture that she's drawn, she said.
ありがとう。
pretty green on Yuki.
ありがとう。ターゲットだよ。
Emmy's Fish said, Andy, remember those new shoes you mentioned on the live like 2 months ago? Well, I've been obsessed with them and wound up ordering them last night. All right.
いいね。
They aren't actually New Balance. This is new information for us. It was born of an idea by George Tokoro, and he asked New Balance to make them, but they refused. So now Sangashio makes them. That's very interesting. That explains why I've never seen them before. And I never see them at the store. I've been looking, like, when I go to the store at the New Balance section, like, I wonder if they have them. And I've never seen them, but that explains why. What's the name of the intro song? Here, I'll pop that up really quick so you can see. Okay, so you probably couldn't hear us there, but it's called Sights of the Tokyo Tower by Sight of Wonder is the name of the group that makes it. So I use this, it's from Epidemic Sound. It's a resource. Oh, there you can see like a weird thing going on here. We'll do the overhead. So you can download, you can use music from Epidemic Sound for like on YouTube without getting copyright strikes, so that's where it's from. But I don't know where you would be able to find it otherwise. It might be on YouTube somewhere, but that is the name of the song. Beautiful picture, says Space Score 2020. Hanami, says Joe Bear. Yes, that is part of it. Homer Simpson with hair and Marge in a bunny costume. that could be accurate.
これ私髪の毛つけとくわじゃあ。
put hair. Yeah, ついてるじゃん。
これは私じゃないじゃん。これアンディがでしょ。
He said this is Homer with hair and this is Marge in a bunny costume. Simpsons のね。
なるほど。
はいはい。Yuki and Andy cosplaying as Easter Bunny. Yuki cosplaying as Easter Bunny and Andy getting drunk? Says come to Japan Day. Yes, looks like it. I think I'm drinking orange juice though. Or it could be umeshu, I guess. It's awesome. Thank you, says pretty. Yes. It's available on your favorite music service, TM2. Your favorite music service. Fair enough. Nat, that's drawn way better than The Simpsons. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's cute. I think whether or not it's better than The Simpsons is subjective for sure. But Nagano ni wa mou. No, I don't know if it's Sakura season yet.
まだだと思います。
Not quite. It's a little bit early. Although we haven't gone to check just yet.
そう。だってまだ梅がようやく咲いてるので、
yeah.
まだ2週間
The plum trees have
2週間ぐらいはかかるんじゃないかな。
The plum trees have just started blooming. We have one in our backyard that's like just starting to pop up, and those are usually a few weeks before Sakura. So I think we're a couple weeks out. And yeah, Teruhiko is a bit further south, and it hasn't started there yet either for her. So so that means definitely not here. Although, who knows? It's Sakura season here in the U.S. all over the place in bloom. Yeah, I saw a video of Washington, D.C.
ワシントン DC には、ね、有名な桜の木があるんですね。
Yeah, there's a famous one in Washington, D.C. she's going to tell you about.
スタンピーという。
Stumpy. One called Stumpy. She likes Stumpy.
ニュースで見ました。
Yeah, we're about 1.5 hours south of DC. Okay, so it's blooming there. And then Come to Japan Dan is even further south in Japan, down in Fukuoka, and he's saying it's just starting to pop up there. So yeah, excuse me, we're definitely like 2-3 weeks out. That was my estimate a week or two ago. Someone said they should start popping up this week, but I still think definitely way too early. Because it got really cold here for a couple weeks. My sakura trees have yet to show anything yet, but the weather is still very cold here. Today was 26 Fahrenheit. Woo! Wow. That's a bummer. Today is finally warming up.
そうだね。10?
Today is going to be...
Celsius?
It's 10 right now. It's going to be 15 degrees Celsius. Wow. But cloudy and rainy.
はい。
Usually it never rains in Nagano, but this year it's crappy weather.
そうだね。
Seattle's trees have been blooming as well. Nice. When we go to Japan in 8 years or so, I want to go during cherry blossom season. Yeah.
おー、やっぱりみんなチェリーブロッサムシーズンさ、来たいよね。
Lots of
綺麗
people
だも
want
ん
to
ね。
come during cherry blossom season. It's pretty. Yeah, -3 Celsius. It's a bit too cold for me. It was 80 Fahrenheit here today. That's nice. That's a good temperature. I like that. That's
それどのぐ
almost
らい
perfect.
20度ぐらい
Yeah, like 25 maybe?
そんなに
80 F2C. And 26. I was close.
めっちゃいいじゃない。
Yes, very good.
はい。ちなみに、ね、今年のさ、イースターめっちゃ早いんだよね。
This year's Easter is very early? I don't know. When is it?
私、カレンダーに書きました。
Mm.
31日かな
On March 31st is Easter. Really?
違うかな
Wow. Yeah, sometimes it happens in March, every once in a while.
うん、sometimes のその sometimes の
Is this time? It's this weekend. Okay. Wow.
多分
It's early. Okay. When I went back in high school, it was just on the very end of the season, so we got to see a few, but they were on the droopy side. Fair enough. Yeah, it's very short. Every location it can be less as long as just a few days if you get rain in the middle. So it's hard to really time it well. Easter's this Sunday, everyone says. Easter is this weekend. This weekend, right? Yes, very early. It was only 6 Celsius, says Melissa. Oof. Wait, do we get day off for Easter? I mean, it's Sunday, right? So I guess technically.
あ、まあ確かにね。
Depends on where you live, I guess. The strangest was that Ash Wednesday was on Valentine's Day. Interesting. That's
おー
makes some things difficult.
みんなチキンたち今頑張ってるってこと
Nani?
チキンたちは今頑
Chicken
張っ
tachi?
チキンたちは卵を産むの頑張ってるんだよね。
Yeah, the rabbits are laying eggs.
そうなのディズニーのやつと違くない
What happens in Disney?
ディズニーカートゥーンのシリーズと違くない
Disney cartoon series? What Disney cartoon
なん
series?
かイースターなんかフェスティバルみたいなさ
There's an
なんか
Easter
イースター
festival Disney
パレ
series?
ージョンみたいな、カートゥーンのやつがあるよね、あ、それディズニーじゃない
No idea.
チキンたちが一生懸命な
So
ん
the
か
chickens
ファクトリーで
are
頑張
laying
って
eggs in a
て
factory.
で、ラビットたちが管理してんの
And the rabbits are taking care of them. Oh, interesting. Okay.
ファクトリーでね
Mm.
で、イースターに出荷してくんですけど
I see. I've never seen that. That sounds like a
違う
sad Easter series.
そうだよね
Yeah, the
ほ
one
ら
where
ほらほ
the
ら
one where rabbits paint eggs. Interesting. There's a great Snoopy Easter special. I've never seen that either. Are Sakura deserts any good? Sakura deserts. Desserts.
うんうんもちでしょ
Yeah, some of them are. Some of them are very good.
もう
Pizza Hut came out
Sakura.
with a Sakura flavored pizza. That doesn't sound very good.
そう
But
なんだ
usually it's for dessert flavors, but
あ
who
で
knows?
もなんかさ桜リーブスだったら
yeah.
ヤングリーブスだったらしょっぱい
That's
漬
true.
物
If you-
みた
if
い
you
な
use
感
the-
じでちょっとフレーバーを
They're probably not doing that. But yeah, if you use the
そうなん
young
ですか。
leaves and
あ、そうなんです
then
か。
and like pickle them, it can be okay.
うん
Sakura mochi are the best leaf included. Yeah,
ねえ
Sakura mochi is quite good.
うん
Nicolas.
美味しいですね
Oh, what? Says come to Japan. Yeah, Sakura stuff is delish, says Teruhiku. I agree. A lot of it is. There's at the grocery store right down the road from us,
うん
or up the road, I guess. They have Sakura dango. And,
so.
and it's just a little mochi, regular little mochi dango. But then on top, it's like a Sakura paste. That one is really, really good.
それねあれ山崎製パンが作ってるから、全国区だと思う
Anywhere in Japan, you can get them. Yeah.
はい
But not in
私の
America.
情報以上です
Arigatou gozaimasu. I think it was Domino's who did the Sakura pizza. Oh, okay.
そうなんだ
Multiple places doing it. I've got a serving of sweet Sakura hojicha here from my 30 days of Japan thingy I bought in December. Nice. Sweet Sakura hojicha.
美味
Sounds
し
good.
そうだね
You're right, it was Domino's, says Greg. Okay. In Japan or in the States? That's what I'm curious
す
about.
ごくないそれインステイツでやってんだったらすごくない
いやだって日本は超流行ってるじゃん。
桜ピザとか
わかんない。Well, see, I live in the middle of America, so I have to be creative. Aha. Japan and their pizzas. Yeah, it does sound more like a Japan special. 桜のラテが大好き。
出るよね。あれに、スターバックスには桜ラテが、桜ラテが出るよね。
Teruhiko said she had a sakura donut at Starbucks today. Nice. Sounds good. アメリカで桜のアイスクリームを食べたことがあります。とても美味しかったです。
いいですね。いいね、
サラ。
ボスキン・ロビンズも桜フレーバーがさ出るよね。あれは日本だけなのかな
I don't know. 31 or Baskin Robbins as it's known everywhere else but Japan. They have a sakura ice cream that's very good. I recommend that. ミスド食べたい says come to Japan. Yeah, I like Mr. Donuts. Unfortunately, the one near the station here went out of business, so you have to drive to the closest one, and it's a little ways away. Sometimes we walk there, but it's a long walk. Do you happen to know good immersion media for beginner level Japanese? Well, there's the Tadoku graded readers, which is a bunch of free ones online. I mean, obviously, I can throw out a plug for our website. We have over 100 stories that are like aimed at certain Genki lessons. So like from 1 to 23 of all the lessons, we have like a few stories, 5 to 10 stories for each and every lesson. So there's us, then there's Tadoku. And then if you're talking about, and that's all listening and reading. If you're talking about like native material, it's a little bit hard to like recommend like actual beginner stuff. Once you get past the early grammar and stuff, it starts getting easier. But I have to make my own Japanese foods if I want to try them. I'm not making a sakura pizza. No, that sounds difficult. I guess maybe it wasn't very popular, cooking. I heard that Denny's has some sakura stuff and that Denny's is crazy popular in Japan for some reason. Don't know how accurate that was. The thing is with Denny's in Japan is it's very different from the Denny's in the States. Like we have breakfast all day like you go to Denny's, you get like pancakes and stuff. In Japan, it's like a regular family restaurant. You're going to be getting like crappy burgers and super salty spaghetti and stuff like that. So Denny's is different. I haven't been there 10 years, so I don't know. It's just not very good. Maybe not a burger, yeah. Bagu. just the patty. So it's just like a Coco's or something. And they're quite popular because they're cheap and you can stay there as long as you want just by getting a drink bar. But they went out of business because I moved away. Yeah, that's very possible. I read all of them up to chapter 16, some of them multiple times. Nice. I hope they've been helpful, Greg. Okay, makes sense. Thanks. Yeah, I heard Japanese Denny's is like an Applebee's. Yeah, something like that, but like a low-grade Applebee's. Lower grade than Applebee's. Denny's is more in the major cities in Japan. We have one. Yeah, いいんだよ。だってin Japan, there's no like culture of going out to breakfast. Like in America. Or having breakfast. Yeah, but it's different. Or having like breakfast for dinner or at 1 in the morning. That's just not a thing here. So Denny's had to change their menu to do okay. But yes, Komeda coffee
from Nagoya.
From Nagoya is popular. But I still feel like people don't go there for breakfast. They go there to like work on their laptops at 12 in the afternoon. But I love the stories that Yuki did for the website. Thank you, sir.
ありがとうございます。
Komeda is my jam, says Come to Japan Dan. Waffle House in Japan would be nuts. That would be good.
そうなんだ。ワッフルハウスないよね、長野に。
I don't think there are any in Japan. Hoshino coffee is popular here in Kitakyū.
そうだね。でも星のコーヒーも長野にないよね。
The Denny's here doesn't even have normal pancakes. Yeah, the disappointment I experienced when I went to Denny's here for the first time was immeasurable. It was intense. I looked at the menu and I was like, I looked at the menu and I was like, what is this garbage? Haven't had it since college. Had a lot of late nights there. Yes, indeed. It was nice and cheap. It was like $2 for a pancake or an egg plate. Anyway, guys, I think it's about time that we jump into the video because it is a long one today, 33 minutes. Komeda coffee.
大好きです。
大好きです。
じゃあ、小豆トースト。ザ・小豆トーストね。
ザ・小豆トースト。
とっても美味しい。あれだよね、バターがね、挟まってるやつだよね、多分小豆トースト。バターか選べるか、ジャムか、バターか、 超厚い thick の
The thick
カート
bread,
ン、そうそう、
うんうん
がなんかデニッシュみたいなやつ選べるよね。前食べたよね。
Yes, we did.
あ
A while ago. It's
は
been
い
a while since we went, but we did
そう
go. We did go once.
美味しいです。
Yes, it's nice and not so expensive. All right, guys, you ready to jump into it? I hope you're ready for the quiz today.
Hi.
It's going to be a good one. Typing practice really is what it is, but we're going to get into it. The Subway sub-sandwich up here in Japan make me cry how bad they are. Yeah, I haven't gone there in like 10 years either. I went like once or twice, and I was just like, wow, this is bad.
ごめんねみんな本当に。
It's fine though. It's because you have ramen and sushi and all this other stuff that's absolutely wonderful. We don't need our fast food. It's fine. We can gives us something to look forward to when we go back to visit home.
わかった。じゃあうどんでね、ちょっと代わりに食べといていただければね。うどん、そばとか。
Yeah, soba, ramen.
あと牛丼はね、日本のファストフードらしいんです。
牛丼 is
そうそう、
牛丼 can be a good.
牛丼はみんなのマクドナルドだと思っていただければ。
Well, the McDonald's here is fine. Although I never go there either because I feel like garbage every time I eat it. Not from guilt either. I literally feel like garbage. I feel like I have a hangover for 3 days every time I eat McDonald's now. So it's like once every 2 or 3 years I forget about that and I'll have like French fries or something and then I'm just sick for 3 days. Not sick, but I have like a headache and I'm just like,
あとガスがやばい。
Yeah, like that. Anyway, jumping into the video, you ready to go? Let's get started. Today we're going to cover 10. Please hit the like button. 59 people are here right now and only like 17 have hit the like button. Actually, I have no idea. Let's take a look at the real number. Dragging. I can't see the likes at all. Interesting.
あら。
I can't see the number of people here either. Let's refresh that. And it's still not showing me. Oh well. Who knows? Let's continue. And new words that will help you learn how to read the various kanji we learned in the first part of this series. For the first word in each lesson, I'll give detailed instructions on how to approach memorizing each word. The other 9 words will be much sparser on instructions so that you can barrel right through them. Disclaimer. Remember that this should not... Hey, we're going to skip this part. This should not be your only source of vocabulary. This is just for learning how to read each kanji. You're going to need a lot more vocabulary than we share in this video to pass N5. So you should be doing vocabulary study in another way as well. Boom, 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 boom. Not covering all the vocabulary that you need. Listen to the following sentence and pay special attention to the highlighted word.
テストの日までまだ4日あります。
Don't worry about the sentence just yet. Let's see the kanji for 4日.
テストの日までまだ4日あります。
The word 4日 has the following 4日. I think I'm saying that wrong. 4日. I don't know how I'm saying it. 4日. Yeah, so it's down up. Following kanji. If this is your first time seeing them, you might want to return to the first part of this series where I taught how to recognize and write each kanji. Anyway, these kanji are for and sun. You might guess this means 4 suns or 4 stars, but that's not quite it. I don't think anyone here guessed that, but I guess it's possible. Let's see what the Japanese dictionary says about it. The 4th day of the month. Example, March 4th. 4 times 1 day. I love that. I love that definition. 4 times 1 day.
なるほど。
1日の4倍. 4 times 1 day. Example? It'll take 4 days until completion. Okay, so let's go ahead and read the dictionary out there. The video would be days long if it covered all the vocabulary I needed. Yes. And my life would be... I would need like double the days. Like, imagine if I did this video for all the 2,000 words that you need for N5. It'd be wild. Here we go. Number 1, お願いします。
はい。月の第4番目の日。
はい。月の第4番目の日ね。So we've got the month, 月. We're going to learn that that word in actually the next video. No. So we have the connecting no. 第4番目. So we've got 第 is like it marks like what's the word for it? Or not ordinal numbers, but like if we're counting a number of first, second, third, fourth, and then the me here.
4.
Number 4 is like that. It's like the number.
でもさ、
And then the me is Yes, it's like the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. I believe someone said last time that was ordinal numbers. That's the me. So 4番目. So the number 4 day, no hi. And we've got 3月4日, so March 4th. And then this one, please.
1日の4倍.
Right. So 1 day's 4 times. 4 times 1 day. That is what this word means. And it's not 4日. It's 4日. 4日. 完成まで4日かかる. It will take 4 days until completion. So this word means 4th day of the month. Hold on. Need an army of Andes. What's this? That would be awesome. I mean, there already is an army of Andes. If you look at the channel, there's like, that's what YouTube is. And the internet nowadays. So basically, we made like 300 something videos. So there's someone watching almost all of those videos, at least one person right now, which means there are an army of 300 Andes who's working right now, which is kind of awesome. The video would be, if you just say everything with no emotion, then your pitch can never be weird because it's regional. I mean, I suppose so. What dictionary are you using? Says Michael. I'm using a couple dictionaries. I'll show you on the screen really quickly. I use an application called just the dictionary application on Mac and iOS, and basically, the icon looks like this one at the bottom of my screen. That one right there. So if I touch that, I open it up, and I'm using a couple different dictionaries here. I think I show you guys this every week. Sorry for those of you who have already seen this. Here we go. So the blue one, the Meikyo dictionary, and then the other one is the yellow one next to the blue one is one aimed at elementary school students, and I believe it is called is it Reikai Gakushu Kokugo? 例会学習国語 I'm using both of those for words, and then I use a couple other ones for kanji. They are absolutely wonderful. Love them. Oh, that's okay. There's links in the description for all of them. So if you pop down into the description of the video, if we pop back over to, I believe, this one, you can see I linked to, these are affiliate links, by the way, but they have the title of the dictionary, and there's a link to Amazon where you can get the hard copy, which is pretty much the same. Although keep in mind that the full dictionary, the hard copy does not have furigana. The digital version does. So, or 4 days. Unlike Konnichiwa Sage Code X, next time I contact Andy about finishing editing one of his videos, it's going to take me 4 times 1 more day to complete. Yes. Should have been ichinichi to ichinichi to ichinichi to ichinichi. Yes. Or it could have been 1 day. What's to the 4th power? That would have been, no, that's not the 4th power. No, that would be the 4th power. Times 4. Yuki did this. 1 day times 4. Mathematically, if we talk about it. Ichinichi to the 4th. Yes. All right. Nice, says Teruhiko. I had no luck at all finding Japanese dictionaries like that in the US App Store. I'll try again. Excellent. Grabbing them now. It is, yeah, I suppose it's possible. Once again, it's not in the App Store. You will not find these dictionaries in the App Store. They aren't apps. The app is the one that's already installed on your iPhone if you have an iPhone, which is it's just called Dictionary, or you might have to just search Dictionary, and then you can purchase dictionaries within that app, and you have to pay for them. They're not like, there's no ads or anything in them. They're the actual dictionary. Excuse me. No, it's 1/4 is just one. Yeah, no, I was thinking that when I said 1 to the 4th is just 1. Good call. 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. That's also an issue, yeah. The app is called Dictionaries, and yeah, exactly. Getting schooled in chat. Yeah, I gotta get back on my math study horse. I've been going back to the very beginning because I'm just terrible at it. I've forgotten everything. But I have been studying math recently. But obviously I haven't gotten to that part. そうなの？仕方ないよ。いいよ、いいよ。Itachi, which, when read like that, is only used for the first day of the month, with a different reading for number of days. The other days like this generally use one reading for both meanings. By the way, yeah, so yokka is the 4th of the month, and yokka is also for 4 days. In the live stream immediately following the release of this video, I'll go ahead and break down the Japanese in the dictionary in detail so that you can get used to using Japanese to Japanese dictionaries if you're interested in that. Let's go ahead and write, which we just did. that's fun. And we showed you our math skills as well. I do math every day with 2 of my kids, yeah. I've been having fun with it. There's a cool website. I can't remember the name of it, but I've been using it to study everything again. This one down. I recommend writing each new word you learn in this series
writing practice
down on a
time.
piece of paper or at least tracing it with your finger on your hand the first time you see it and each time you review it in the future. I'm writing. Wow, my son got a lot bigger than the 4. Follow along with Yuki here, or pause the video and use the diagrams to try and write it yourself. Let's see how I did. Judgment. How's that go agagan? Judgment Night of Thunder. What is that song again? I don't even know. Is it from Psyche K, eh? Yeah, that was pretty bad. Oh, nice one, Montana Margot. Grammy's here today. 日本語で数学を勉強する方がいいね。そうだね。I should do it in Japanese, but I'm doing it in English. What math course are you doing? Everything. I'm just going right from the beginning. I'm going to go right from the beginning. I'm working on decimals and fractions right now. And I was doing exponents. I'm going to go do like roots and stuff. And then I'm going right into algebra, getting a refresher on that. And then into geometry and calculus and trigonometry. I'm going to do everything. Slowly but surely. Anyway, on we go. Next, let's break down our sentence. You don't need to memorize all the words and kanji in the sentences we cover, though we try to keep things level appropriate. You also don't need to understand the grammar in the sentence just yet. We're going to break down the sentence anyway, though, because getting extra exposure to real Japanese is always a win.
テストの日までまだ4日あります。
Here we have testo, which means test, connected
that was
to
hard.
hi or day by the connecting or possessive. That's a bonus word there for sun. Hi, that just means a day. No particle. You could think of this like tests day, but we'd probably say day of the test in English. This taken as a whole is marked by made, which means until or by. So until or by the day of the test. Next is mada, which means still or not yet, depending on whether the verb in the sentence is conjugated positively or negatively. Someone said that they'd been stuck on that difference in mada, like how they could tell the difference for a long time. Then I just sort of offhandedly said what it is here. Yeah. If it's mada itte nai, it means I haven't done it yet. I haven't gone yet. And if it's mada tabemasu, I will still eat it. So yeah, it depends on the verb. Is it positive or negative? That changes the meaning of mada. And in this case, it is in the positive, so it means still. Next is our word yokka. So still or not yet 4 days. The verb of existence, meaning to have or to exist, aru, is in its polite present future tense, arimasu. From this context, we know that the original made means until, as opposed to by, and the mada means still, since arimasu is a positive conjugation of aru. There you go. So we get until the day of the test, still 4 days have or exist. In more intelligible English,
テストの日までまだ4日あります。
until the day of the test, there are still 4 days. I don't know. I'm not one of those smart math Olympiad students in middle Olympiad students, so I'm not sure, but I'll check them out. The website I'm using is great. It has lots of practice examples and stuff too. It looks like it was made in the 90s, which kind of adds to the charm. Or there are still 4 days until the test. That would be fine too. Now you can say and write things like
週末までまだ4日あります。
there are still 4 days
that makes sense.
until the weekend. To memorize, there's actually only like 2 days until the weekend, or 1 day for some of you. Memorize words. I think Andy explains things well because he had to figure them out as a native English speaker. Yeah, that's part of it for sure. I spent a lot of time on grammar back in the day. And I've also learned a lot from teaching. A lot. So, but anyway, I'm glad to hear that it's helpful. It can be super useful to use mnemonics or memorization stories. Feel free to make your own, but here's one that might work for you. Yogurt cart. I will write down, what is it called? Art of problem solving, though? Imagine a yogurt cart that only appears on the 4th day of the month and only if it's a sunny day. When it finally shows up, people shout, "Yo, it's the yokka." That actually sounds like what Japanese people would shorten the word yogurt cart to. Although it might just be yoka instead of yokka. Probably be yoka.
Yoka.
So kind of works. Yoka. Anyway, it's important to try and imagine these stories with all their moving parts so that they really stick. If you create your own mnemonics, make sure to include the meaning and reading of the word within the story. And ideally, the kanji too, if possible. Yep. So the word yokka uses the kanji for and sun, and not yokka, it's yokka. Exactly the opposite. I do the days of the week exactly the opposite pitch accent. So it's not yokka, it's yokka, right? Yokka. Anyway, but that's okay. Means 4th day of the month, or 4 days.
バスケットボールは5人いります。
Sun is part of the service. His presence brings the sun. Yes, indeed.
バスケットボールは5人いります。
5人 uses the following kanji. 5 and person. There's no entry for this in the Japanese dictionary, but if you watch the last video, I'm pretty sure you can figure this one out on your own. What was the symbol we're going to use for people to show that they've watched the last video? Oh, and that symbol thing no longer shows up in here. Oh, it's gone. I can't click on the little heart thing. Hearts in chat if you were here for the last video. It means 5 people, where person is being used as the counter for people, and gonin is 5. Writing practice time. I'm going to practice. Yuki mode in.
ラピッドモードやってないよ。
確かに。We'll go back and do that. はい。Yukiも書く。Alright, so then we're going to pop over and see how I did. There's mine. Not terrible. Okay, Yuki has to do turbo mode for both the last word,
ね。
which was yokka,
まあ書いたけどね。
and for 5人. She wrote it, but we didn't actually show it.
恥ずかしいやつ書いたけどね。もう
she wrote an embarrassing one. Alright, let's see what yokka looks like. Gotta practice that. Yokka.
よ。
Ah, right.
そう、前回もさ、この4はやったよね。
Yeah, we did last time. You got a D inside of the mouth instead of a person's legs when it's fast mode.
はい。
You have to write it 4 times.
で、4日。これ縦ですね。
There you go, yeah. Interestingly, Montana Margot, Grammy there, wrote gonin with a number 5. And
あ、間違えた。5日に。
to be honest, that's how you would normally write it. You generally speaking, if you were actually writing down 5 people, you wouldn't actually write the kanji for 5 most of the time. You would actually, generally speaking, use the Arabic numeral 5 plus the kanji person. So technically that is correct. But gonin. You gotta pull this down.
はい。
There we go.
これ
So that's fast mode? Okay. I see. So this is more like a single stroke. The first 2 strokes.
くっつけてね。くっつけて。
Yeah.
ちょっと離れちゃったけどくっつけてください。
Not too bad. That one's yeah. For gonin is not too weird. When did the Arabic numerals start to come into writing? Was it after World War II? Actually, I have no idea on that question, Amanda. We'll have to look in that. 日本ではいつからArabic numerals 1,2,3,4とか使い始めたか
ちょっと調べるね。
Yuki's gonna do a quick search while we pop into the video. Yes, it's true for both writing and typing, Christian. Generally speaking, you're just going to write the number 5 and person. You're going to write the number 5 and the kanji for day, things like that. In daily use, you're not actually going to use the number kanji very often. And you're not going to see them very often either, except for maybe in like izakaya with handwritten menus.
バスケットボールは5人いります。
Here we have basketball, which means soccer. Ooh, she's got a fast slap there. I don't know. Whatever.
Sorry.
Not sorry. Basketball is marked by the wa topic particle, meaning it's what. I'm glad someone found it sort of comical. That means the fish. I'm watching it now. I'm like, oh, so da ne. We're about to talk about. Here's our word, gonin. And then we have, okay, that's another place you might see kanji numbers. Yeah, ranks and stuff like that, official ranks for sure. Irimasu, which is the polite present future tense of iru or to need. A lot of people get confused here because let's pop up the board. Iru means to need, right? And I get this question a lot, right? Because iru, in general,
うん
means to exist, right? For an animate object to exist. But and to conjugate this into the mas form, for example, or like not a mas form, but let's say for the mas form. To conjugate this into the mas form, it's an iru eru verb, right? An ichidan verb. So it just becomes imas, right? But then there's this one, iru, which means to need.
うん
And you conjugate that one as irimasu. So people get very confused with that. Now, Yuki, could you rate the kanji for us for to need?
はい to need の方はちょっとまだ N5 には出ないんですけど
So, and this is not a 4, by the way. This is actually what it's supposed to look like on top.
そう
So this is going to show up in N4.
こっちの漢字はいらない
We could show the kanji for this one, yeah, too. Sure. Although you're not going to see this one too frequently.
うん
This one also has a kanji, but it doesn't show up very much. So they are different words, and one is an ichidan verb, and one is not. Let's hear what the pitch accent is for this one. What is this one?
いる
Iru. So it's tamadaka. It goes up, down.
いる
Iru. Oh, it goes up.
あでもさこれもさいるなん
Okay,
です
so
け
they're
ど
the same. It doesn't matter. So there's no way to tell the difference unless the kanji are there. You just have to know from context. And in this one, since it's conjugated, you know that it's the to need. Anyway, back into the video. So that makes this about basketball. You need 5. Exactly, yeah. Need is an ichidan exception. So that's what throws a lot of people off. Thank you, Guguru-san says. People. In prettier English, Distinct Gamer says, "Hey, Yuki and Andy, loving the content. You've really helped me gain confidence in my Japanese. The other day I got to talk to a native speaker and was shocked I was able to hold a conversation." That's awesome, Distinctive Gamer. Yay.
よかったです
Firecrackers in chat for Distinct Gamer. That's awesome. Homophones. This is kind of confusing, says. Well, I imagine it is, especially if you're just starting out. This is definitely not like a super beginner series. But with that said as well, even if you don't understand the grammar right away, the only thing you really need to worry about in this video series is the word itself. But I still want to break down the sentences because it's good to learn things within sentences. English.
バスケットボールは5人いります。
You need 5 people for basketball. Now you can say and write things like,
フットサルは5人いります
you need 5 people for futsal. Yeah, so, I don't... It's this one right here. I'll pop it up for you. So I'm not sure if that top part is West or not. I haven't gotten to that kanji history yet. But it's not person's legs, although it may be an amalgamation of that, or maybe. I haven't looked up the history for the top part of iru yet. So I can't answer that completely. I learned it as something different from West, personally. I don't remember what I learned it at. I just think it looks like a Darth Vader face, or a Darth Vader mask, or like a robot mask. So that's what I memorized it at. But I will be looking up the history for that one soon. So we'll get there. Go ninjas go. Picture 5 ninjas known as the Gonin embarking on a stealth mission. As they leap into action, they whisper, "Go ninjas go."
Go ninja, go ninja, go. Go ninja, go ninja, go.
Ninjas
Go
are people
ninja,
too.
go ninja,
I don't
go.
remember what this is
So the
from.
word
Gonin. Someone was saying Vanilla Ice, but was it in one of his songs? I can't remember. Gonin.
あバ
Hi,
ニラア
Hi,
イス
Jeev.
のあジーブはい
Uses the kanji 5 and person and means 5 people. Gonin was in the movie. Ah, okay. It was in a movie.
あれじゃんバニラアイスってジョジョじゃん
Vanilla Ice has a song in JoJo?
違うそうじゃな
Oh,
い
there's a character in JoJo ね。はい。Yes.
ジョジョじゃん
Vanilla Ice. そうだね. Unrelated to the video, but when you did your huge reading burst in Prep for M1, did you read novels, light novels as well? I did not. I just did games and manga. Right now I'm reading novels, sort of. I'm reading Sarutoru. I don't know how to say it in English or French. Sarutoru.
はい日本
Anyway,
語ではサルトルです
one of his novel series in Japanese I'm reading. That's what I'm using now. But when I did the N1 push, it was just visual novels and manga. That's it. And I watched a lot of anime at lunch and dinner. That was it. The old live action Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movies. Oh, okay. Wow.
あ、
はい
ジーブさん に
はい。
前回そのスーパーチャットいただいたんですけど名前いらない方ということでなんか今回から今回から名前が欲しくない人は、
はい。
なんか私が書いてあげることにしようかなと思って、
何を書いてあげるの？
まあ、何でもリクエストがあればその時のやつでいいんですけど、
はい。あ、こ
今
れがジー
回は
ブさん。
そう今回はジーブさんこちら書きました。
So I need to explain what she said. So she said last time you sent us a super chat, so she drew a little picture for you. She said there's a lot of people who have given multiple super chats, and we've written every single name you could think of. So from now on, for those of you who do not want your name in kanji anymore, because you've already had it done, if there's super chats, then she's gonna draw a requested picture for you. And you didn't request this one, but she already had it written for you. Here's a Tanjiro for you, Jeev. Tanjiro Hato.
勝手に炭治郎にしました。
So thank you again, Jeeves, from last week. All right, backing back out there.
Hi.
Tanjiro, says everyone. Yes. How did you hear from Cure Dolly? Do you hear from Cure Dolly? It changed my complete learning process with the Japanese. Is more like a puzzle with particles. Did you? I think you probably mean did I hear of? And yes, I've heard of Cure Dolly, although I haven't really watched a whole lot of her. If you actually do mean do you hear from Cure Dolly, that she passed away a year or two ago, so no, I have not heard from her. But yeah, that was a sad loss for the Japanese learning community. Vanilla ice no stand.
あ、クリーム。
そうそうそう。
クリームだ、クリーム。
ね。Wow, good Tanjiro says. Nordstrom Korean is fairly difficult. Amanda, the writing system of Korean is easy, but the pronunciation is tough. For real. Yuki's a mangaka in secret. Great drawing. She's working on a manga right now for the website. Jujun. 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 She's working on a manga right now for the website, actually. It's a yonkoma manga, just four little boxes. So she's been working on that very hard.
ちょっとまだon the way です。
It's still coming. She's got like 15 of the episodes sketched out, but we're working on the like official version still. So it'll be a little while, but we're working on them.
日本では5月5日は子供の日です。
Yep.
日本では5月5日は子供の日です。
Itsuka uses the following kanji: 5 and sun. I imagine you won't be falling into the 5 sun trap for this word, but let's pull out the dictionary anyway. The 5th day of the month. Example, May 5th is Children's Day. 5 days. Example, 5 days a week, I go to the company. For some reason, this time the dictionary did not say 5 times 1 day, unfortunately. And we won't make the mistake again of saying it's 1 to the 5th power, because we've learned. That's what we do here. Let's go ahead and break down this dictionary explanation we've got.
月の5番目の日。
Alright, so the day, which is the 5th one of the month, or the month's 5th day.
5月5日は子供の日です。
We got a bonus word here. 5月. How do you say that?
5月5日
Okay, it's up. 5月 is May, 5th month. 5日, that's the 5th. Wa, so that's the topic. 子供の日です. It's Children's Day. That's hysterical because I talk about this later. Anyway, and then we have
5日間
5 days. Just 5 days.
週5日会社に通う
5 days a week. 週 is week. 会社に通う. I go to the company. So it means the 5th day of the month or 5 days. No 5 times 1 day. You may have noticed that the first example sentence was almost identical to our example sentence. This is somehow a complete coincidence, as we didn't own this dictionary when we were making the example sentences. Writing practice time. Hi. I'm writing over here. Hi. There's my Itsuka. All right, let's see what Yuki's turbo mode looks like. No worries.
さっき5人やったもんね。
So we did 5. So the 5 is exactly the same. And then we've already done the he a bunch of times. So no surprises here for turbo mode.
あんまりターボしないね、この5という
Turbo
漢
day is
字は。
basically just an N. I can't do turbo day.
まあこの N みたいなの書いてですね、こ
Yeah,
う
just like an N. And then a line, 2 lines.
そう
What is that? What am I doing? To extend a little bit too much. Let's try that again. You don't have to practice turbo mode. It's just so you can know what it's going to look like when you see it in writing. I have to say that disclaimer every week so people don't start practicing turbo mode. The people who find all the kanji content when you're done are in luck. Yeah, man. That's my hope. I printed out the 500 kanji I know now to start my writing practices. I'm at a point where I can easily recognize them if I see them, but a lot of them, if you ask me to imagine them, I can't. Yeah, that's a struggle a lot of people have, even Japanese people.
あ、
はい。
すいません。さっきの週5日という言い方なんですけど、
はい。
一応そのレッスン、グラマーレッスン、元気のグラマーレッスンでもちょっとだけやったんですけど、なんか月に何回とかと同じスタイルだよね。週に5日、
はい。
1週間に1回ってことですけど、
そう
いうなんか月1回とかその2をドロップオフできる。
I see. Yeah, she's saying we do this a little bit in Genki, but when you have the way it's said in the dictionary of 週5日, week, 5 days, technically it's often dropping the ni. 週に2回 in a week, 2 times, for example. You can cut the ni and say 週2回 a week, 2 days. But technically what's happening there is it's dropping the ni. Although this is the dictionary that has this sentence. So I'm not sure they're dropping the ni or if this could just be considered a different way to say it. But 1週間に5日, so 5 days in a week. It's a little bonus she wanted to add there for you guys.
はい。
日本では5月5日は子供の日です。
We start this sentence with 日本で, with 日本 being Japan and で being in, at, or via, marking it as the place you use to do an action or the place where something occurs. We then mark that whole thing as the topic of what we're about to say. 5月 is a bonus word here that means May, the 5th month. Then we have our word, 5日, the 5th marked with another wa particle, making this something like about May 5th and indicating that we're about to talk about May 5th. Then we have 子供の日, which means Day of Children or Children's Day, and です, it is. So, as for in Japan, May 5th, it's Children's Day. By the way, if you'd like to spend more time studying grammar, check out my, I think that maybe kakurenshu, maybe? Space car, what would writing practice be in Japanese? Kakurenshu might be good.
はい。
Genki Grammar Playlist, or whatever series pops up over here that is our new version of that, if we have one. Anyway, let's get some more proper English for this sentence.
日本では5月5日は子供の日です。
In Japan, May 5th is Children's Day. Now you can say and write things like
メキシコでは5月5日はシンコデマヨです。
in Mexico, May 5th is Cinco de Mayo. It's a kite day. Picture a tradition of flying a different colorful kite every 5 days. And on the 5th day of the month, flying all 5 of the colorful kites under the sunny sky at the same time. Because the 5th is always sunny. In Japanadelphia? quick pause here. Hold on, we gotta get the 5th is always sunny. In Japanadelphia? A few people mentioned in some of the comments from the first video that the mnemonics weren't working for them, and that's perfectly okay. But 2 things I want to add to that. Obviously, mnemonics you make for yourself are going to be better. Second thing I want to add, you don't necessarily need mnemonics for every single word you learn. It can just be helpful, and these mnemonics are mostly used as a sort of example of what you could do. But third, and this is the most important thing, is I think a lot of people approach mnemonics as like, they see it the first time, they read it, and then they read it once, and that'll help it stick. But mnemonics don't work that way. The way mnemonics, specifically story-based mnemonics work, is that you actually have to you have to take the time to stop and really try to imagine the story. You have to imagine it with all its moving parts and the sounds and things like that. Say it a couple times. and try and link it to the word itself. And it feels like, especially when learning like kanji, just the meanings and the stuff, it feels like it's taking time that like you could just move on to the next word and learn a lot more if you did it faster and didn't use mnemonics. But the thing is, specifically for kanji, yeah, Jeev says he finds it useful for kanji, but not so much for words. The thing is that, especially with the kanji, is they stick so much better if you have the mnemonic. And you think about it. So you spend less time reviewing later if you take the time to really imagine the story than you would if you didn't. So you'll be able to quickly, quote, learn maybe 20 kanji in an hour or something without the mnemonics. And maybe it takes you 2 hours to learn 20 kanji otherwise. But you'll save like probably 10 hours over time. That's just a random number I'm throwing out. But you'll save so much time later on. With words, I found that I don't use personally mnemonics for every new word. But in the beginning, I used mnemonics for probably 50 to 70% of all the new words I learned, just because it helped me pull them out later when I was speaking, for speaking practice. So I found them very helpful, so that's why I throw them in. The crazier the story, the more it sticks in my personal experience, for sure. It's definitely for me too. Oyasumi Sauron.
Hi. Oyasumi.
Blonde Danny DeVito isn't real. He can't hurt you. He's awesome though. Mnemonics for me is remembering anime titles and voice actors' names. Yeah. Also with me, unless I make my own mnemonics, they won't stick. But yeah, I have to take the extra time, but it's so worth it. Yeah. And I definitely recommend making your own. 100%. I love how long the pic is staying on screen. yeah, that was intentional. Take the advice, don't rush like I did. Reviewing 100 kanji sentences is terrifying. Yes. I only put it in for like 2 seconds. I only use mnemonics when I'm struggling to remember something. Yeah, it helps a lot. But the thing is like making them after you're already struggling, you've already wasted a lot of time. So arguably speaking, your first couple hundred words, it might be worth it to throw together a quick mnemonic. But super common words that you're going to see all the time, you probably don't need them. So the word itsuka uses the kanji 5 and sun and means 5th day of the month, or 5 days.
6時に夕ご飯を食べました。
6時に夕ご飯を食べました。
Yeah, I do that a lot. I link words in Japanese to words in my own language or another language, like that, just like Greg did. Sakebu is my favorite Japanese verb because it sounds like sakurebiru. I don't know if I said that right, but I do that a lot too. That can be helpful as well. Guji uses the following kanji: 6 and time. So it must mean 6 time. Pretty much. Oops. Yeah, there's no dictionary. So it must mean 6 time. Pretty much. There's no dictionary entry for us to cover on this one because 6 here is actually just a number, and time, when used as a counter with a number, means hour of the day, or that can definitely happen. So this means 6 o'clock. Rokuji. Writing time. Rokuji. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, there's my rokuji.
Hi.
6 times 1 hour. Yes. Thank you so much for your videos, Andy. I slowly went through all your Genki lessons and am now living in Sendai and realized I still have a long way to go. Thank you. That's awesome, Fraser. Welcome to Japan. I'm glad that you found them helpful. Sometimes I remember old mnemonics, but I forget the word they were linked to. Yeah, that's happened to me before too, for sure.
Oh.
All right, let's see what turbo mode of Rokuji. Hi. By the way, this is me. This is not Yuki. Rokuji.
Hi.
Alas, time for me to go, says Amanda. Thank you for all you do. I look forward to the next video. See you there, Amanda. Thanks for hanging out.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Have a good night.
この人、フレイザーさんと読むのかな。ありがとうございます。
Fraser. かな。
はい、じゃあ、
Thank you.
ターボモードいきます。
Off topic, 質問. I'm having trouble speaking, but when I have time to sit down and type it all out, I can type comprehensible sentences. With speaking, I can't seem to say what I want to say. Completely normal.
ちょっと大きく書こう。
おー。そうだね。The top of the 6, the pot lid becomes squigglier. This looks like a person walking around with a curved neck. And then the sun in time becomes very, very thin. This becomes a different kanji on top. Really, it's supposed to be longer. Right, it should be tsuchi. And this gets curvy.
ちょっとね、土じゃなくなっちゃったな、ここ。こういう感じで
You
ここが
got a
土の
script
方がいいね
L on top. Right on. So if you see that, you know it means 6 o'clock. Thank you, I2 must go. I'll finish this after dinner and chores. Have a good one, Miss Dirica.
はい、ありがとうございます。
Yes, Dinkhead. That is completely normal. You won't get better at speaking, frankly, until you speak more. So you'll have to struggle with that for a while. And you'll find that that your output, no matter how much you read or write or listen, it's only going to improve when you start actually using it. If you don't have anyone to practice speaking with, it helps to say what you want to write out loud. Yeah, that can help too. And shadowing can help a lot. But see you later, distinct gamer. Oyasumi.
6時に夕ご飯を食べました。
Breaking this one down, we have our word, rokuji, marked by the ni particle, which, when used with times, means at that time. Yu gohan means dinner or supper, and it's marked by the object particle, o, which means that dinner is the object of the verb in the sentence. That verb is tabemashita, which is the polite past tense of the verb taberu, to eat. So we have at 6 o'clock. That's very possible, Minami. 8. Tidying that up a bit, we get
6時に夕ご飯を食べました。
I ate dinner at 6 o'clock. Now you can say and write things like
6時にジュースを飲みました。
I drank juice or soda at 6 o'clock. Because, as silly as it sounds, juice covers both what we think of as juice and sodas. I still struggle with that. Someone's like, oh, I want some juice. And then they go and get like a Coke or like a, or like a cream soda or something. I'm like, what? I still don't. I'm still not a huge fan of the fact that juice covers all of that. But it is what it is. Rocky's joy at... Yeah, Teruhiko, that's definitely part of it. That's why we're starting 30 minutes earlier than usual for these, because it's also the fact that if you look down here, this video is 33 minutes and 12 seconds long. So the premiere was 3 times longer than the last part of this series where we were just teaching the meanings. And then the live stream becomes much, much longer. But we spend less time like breaking stuff down on the whiteboard for this series. So there's that. 6. Imagine the character Rocky running up these steps at the Philadelphia Art Museum at 6 o'clock every morning and evening. Every time he sees the statue of himself at the top, he's filled with joy. The timing. Because he forgets about it every time he walks back down the steps. So he's so happy about that statue. I love it. Nothing like embarrassing yourself while trying to speak and being corrected for saying something completely wrong, but I feel like that actually helps with learning too. No, embarrassment is like the best way to memorize something. I always tell this story. I went to an interview for a job here, and it was all in Japanese, and I was saying how I needed to go get my driver's license, which is menkyo, I guess. But I kept saying mensetsu, which is interview. I kept saying I have to go get my interview over and over and over and over again. And finally the interviewer, the guy giving me the mensetsu, corrected me. He's like, menkyo. I was like, oh, what have I been saying? And then the other person in the interview was like, mensetsu. I was like, oh my God. I've never made that mistake again. So yeah, so doing like stuff like that, that wasn't even like a huge mistake, but it was embarrassing because it was in a literal interview. I did get the job, so that was nice, but I warned everybody at work that they would all learn Japanese through me by proxy, says Michael. Nice. Random thought, Space Corps 2020, your name's awesome. I can't help thinking about Star Wars metal. That is me, although I'm going to try to stay tonight. It's a struggle. Ooh. I can't wait till DST isn't a thing anymore. That would be nice. It's a reference to a character in Portal 2. What a great game. The word rokuji later Chobear uses the kanji 6 and time and means 6 o'clock.
この料理に卵を6つ入れなければいけません。
この料理に卵を6つ入れなければいけません。
Mutsu uses the kanji 6 and the hiragana tsu. The Japanese dictionary says the count of 6 times 1. The next number after 5. You got it. 6. Mutsu. So, all right. So this time we did get a count of 6 times 1.
はい。
6 times 1, which of course is 6. 6つ、6つを。はい。So let's go ahead and break this one down.
あ、私言っていいんですか？
お願いします。
はい。1の6倍の数。
1の6倍の数. So a count of 6 times 1, going backwards. The no, it's connecting it. We can go back. Count of 6 times of 1. And then the next one.
5の次の数。
So count, or the number, this can also be number. So fives, so we can think of this as the possessive no. Next, tsugi is next, no, kazu, number. Then we have
6、
6,
6つ、
6, or just mutsu. This is because the dictionary here is mutsu, 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 and then but it's actually mutsu. So essentially, this is the word used when you count to 6. And it's also the most general or basic counter for things. When counting in general or referring to a number of things, we use the ender tsu along with the Japanese names of numbers as opposed to the Chinese names. The 5 we haven't covered here are hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu, yotsu, and itsutsu. They're probably all the reverse pitch actually. Hitotsu, futatsu, mitsu, yotsu, itsutsu. Didn't we cover yotsu? I can't remember. And then we have this one, mutsu. You'll notice that the dictionary entry lists this as mutsu. There's a dictionary entry for mutsu as well, but this explanation was better. Mutsu is the old way of saying this, and in modern Japanese, it's almost always read as mutsu with the small tsu there. Mutsu. Jeev, that can be very confusing, right? But a bonus thing is that the counter for bread loaf, yeah. You could just use this one if you wanted to. Like if you want 6 loaves of bread, yeah, you could use the counter for loaves of bread. Or you could just say, mutsu kudasai. 6, please. The reason we haven't covered the Yuki, what is the counter for bread loaf? Do you know?
金。
Kin. 6 kin.
6金。
6 kin.
そう。
6kin.
ローフってさ、このバケツが1個で1つですよね。ここだよね。
So that's
こういう風になってるよね。
はいはい。the
こ
bucket.
れが、
Yeah.
そうそう、この多分、このなんかわかんない、大きさが多分あるんだと思うんですけど、ここがなんか何センチメートルなのかわかんないけど、多分これを1つで1斤と言います。
This container with the bread in it.
そう、まあ、話してもいいんだけど、この形のこのもの。
So that shape is 1斤. Okay, that's good to know. You don't need to memorize that. That's not super important, but apparently
この漢字だけね。この
that's the
信用がない。
kanji. Oh Lord.
そう。
I've seen that one before. But not in this context. First 5 words yet is because Brixbuster says, greetings, ToKini Andy. I was recommended your channel on Discord. Currently, I'm reading through RTK1 and plan on starting Genki 1 once finished. How well prepared will I be for native material once finished? So, when you're done with RTK1 and Genki 1, not to be... I don't want to be like how should I put it? I don't want to like ruin your day or anything, but you won't be ready at all. That's the nice way to put it, I guess. But you'll have a good base. You're going to struggle no matter what. Even if you finish Genki 2 in all of RTK1, you're not going to be ready at all. But you're never going to be ready at all. That's the thing. You're never ready for native stuff, ever. Never going to be ready, no matter how much you study. You can do Quartet, which is after Genki, all of them, and you won't be ready for native material. Unfortunately, it gets you the base so that you're not like completely lost when you get into native material. But the only way to really get good at native material is once you have that base, struggling with the native material. That's the only way in the end. So no, you're never going to be ready for native material, but eventually you'll have enough of a base where you can start struggling through it and really wondering what you were doing all that time. So having the base definitely helps, but no, but unfortunately you won't be like ready for it. At least that's my opinion. Oh my god, counting stuff makes me nervous, says Teruhiko. Tofu has a good article on counters. It's good to know. Japanese counters, the cheat code. Could be a cool video. Oh yeah, that could be a cool video. Rokkin tabereru says Radclaw. Pam rokkin. Thank you for your Genki videos. I just finished chapter 3. Quick question. I'm confused on the difference between particles ni and de. Can you do... So I did a video. 2 videos, actually. There's a short 2-minute video on ni and a short 2-minute video on de. And I talk about both in both of the videos. But basically, ni is directional or indicates a location that something exists in. And de indicates a thing or a location that you utilize to do something else. So you can think of de as utilize or to use something. When you're marking a location, you're using that location to do a thing. Ni means you're going in the direction of a place, or you're marking that place as the location where something exists. If you're doing something there, you're not using ni. If you're doing something there, you're using de. That's it. That's the difference. Long road ahead. It's a good start. Absolutely. Okay, well, day ruins, says Brad Word. Night all. Sorry. The hardest part of Japanese is Japanese people speak too quickly. That's every single language. Every single language. I wrote the wrong one earlier. All good. I'm trying to build a roadmap is why I'm curious. Getting a base sounds good. For sure. Just read...
すごすぎる。ロードマップ作っちゃうの
Roadmaps are useful. Joju is here.
Joshu.
I didn't see. Okay,
Joshu.
Joshi ne. I thought it was a play on JoJo. It's too small
Joshu.
here. It's too small here. What is the picture there? I can't see it. And you'll be pretty good after. LOL.
はい。
I think the talking faster thing is actually a myth in any
大日本帝国
language.
憲法
Good luck reading that. Yeah. Come to Japan Dan
just
says.
read でしょ
Just read it apparently. Yeah. Just read. Just read じゃなくて just read it and you'll be pretty good. That's a hard one. That's one of the hardest. That's one of the hardest.
私も読めないか
That's one of the hardest, right? I think the talking faster thing is actually a myth in any language. Like, it just seems that way. Yeah, I feel that way as well. You feel like things are really fast until you get used to it, and then it's like, oh, this is actually way more clearly spoken than my own language. I bought RTK, but ended up not using it at all. I've been loving Wanikani. At my pace, I'll have 2,000 kanji and 6K words in a year. Nice. Sounds good. I don't think it's the speed. It's that the same sounds mean 10 different things, and you can't speak in kanji. Thank you for answering my questions, says Alakarani. You're very welcome. For those who give super chats in chat, we like to draw their names in kanji. Yuki will make kanji for your name. Choose some kanji for your name. Appreciate that. If Alakarani is your name, we'll go with Arakarani for now. If you have another name you'd actually like us to write, like if that's just your screen name or something, and you actually have a different name that you'd like her to write your kanji for, let us know, and she will write that for you. Particle Master class would be a great video, getting tough sentences with particles and breaking it down with Satori Brian. Oh yeah, that could be fun. Arigatou gozaimasu. Thank you very much, Arakani-san. You should be encountering them in your normal vocabulary.
このさっきのアラビックナンバーをいつから使ってるか。
アマンダはもういないんだけど。
ごめんね、アマンダ。ごめん。ちょっともう早く探し終えたのに。1857年にオフィシャルに教科書みたいなものに載せられたと。
Okay, so the first time that our Arabic numerals started showing up officially in Japan was 1857. For those of you who were wondering about that earlier in the video. Vocabulary study. And we covered the readings of hito, futa, mi, yo, and itsu. In other words. Oh, writing time. Whoa, Brad Ward. Thank you very much. Thanks for answering Alakarani's questions, but you already wrote my name. Thank you, Brad Ward. You might have missed this earlier in the stream, but we also mentioned that for people whose names we have already written, Yuki will take requests for a picture you'd like her to draw. Ideally something not too complicated. Like, don't ask her to draw the Mona Lisa or anything. But she can draw, like, show her the example of what you drew for Jeeves really quick. There's Tanjiro for Jeeves, stuff like that. So my alternate screen name is Tokyo Tomorrow, which is supposed to be Soramimi of Tokyo Tomare when Dio uses the world.
確かにね、東京トゥモローでさ、ね、時を止まれに聞こえるか。
Hi, Brad says he'd love a picture of Fujisan. Fujisan? いいね。ありがとう。いいね。で、Arakarani-san's name, we could just go with Arakarani for now, かな？
了解です。
Thank you, Radclaw.
ありがとう、ラッドクロー。
Thank you. Would you like Yuki to write? I don't know why I wrote it awesome twice. I think you're being awesome.
ありがとうございます。
That guy wanted the Mona Lisas, is Teruhiko. Turbo mode Mona Lisa. Yes.
それやばいやつじゃん。これできないよ。はい。いきますよ。
No preference on the name, just grateful for the content. Thank you very much. はい。
はい。
じゃあ、あらからに
さ
様、あらからにで。
あ、OK
お願
です。
いします。
了解です。
はい、いいよ、いいよ
じゃあ。
それで。
6つ。
はい、we're gonna
とりあえ
go
ず6つを書きます。
Speed mode.
6つ。
はい。Speed mode's easy. You're not gonna mess that one up.
あ、
Although,
縦だった
I mean,
これ
technically,
縦だわこれ
a pot lid is usually
そう。
connected.
6つ。
はい。いいね。
はい。なんか私的に思うんですけど、その
うん
カウンタ
うん。
ーは、この、まあ、言いやすさによるんですけど、
はい
この1つ2つのやつか、
うん。
1個2個3個のどっちかがあればとりあえず最初は生きていけると思うんですけど、
そうだね。一つ、二つと一個、二個。
そう覚えやすい方で
Those are the two that are best to
そう
use
そう
for almost anything. 個。
うん
So it's for like smaller, regular just objects. 一個、二個、三個、四個、五個. Those ones. And 一つ、二つ、三つ. If you learn those ways of counting, you can pretty much ask for anything. Radclaw says they'll go with a name. All right, thank you very much. Do you want Radclaw or do you want your actual name? Could you throw that in chat for us? How you write it in katakana? No preference on the name. Okay, we already got that one. Sick.
Hi.
Thank you guys very much. The order is going to be Arakarani,
Hi.
then Fujisan for Brad,
了解です。
and Radclaw. Thank you very much.
はい、ありがとうございます。ちょっとライブから書いてくるね、ここに。
By the way, you can get worksheets for practicing the words in each of these lessons. Go with Austin. Austin. How do you usually write Austin in katakana? We'll go with the way you choose. Austin.
だと思うよ。
Probably that, eh?
OK。
Is this accurate? Is this how you write it? Radclaw. Austin.
オースティンね。はい。じゃあ少々お待ちください、皆さん。
Okay, yeah, that was right. Sweet. お願いします. If you're a member of ToKiniAndy.com, as well as an Anki flashcard deck with all of the meanings, writings, and words from this series in it. All of the blue cards in these videos are taken directly from that deck.
この料理に卵を6つ入れなければいけません。
First, we have kono, which means this and must be connected to a noun. Ryori is that noun, and it means cooking, cuisine, or food. So this cooking, or this food, is marked by ni, which we can translate as in when it marks nouns like this one. We then have tamago, or egg, marked by the object particle o. So we know that this is the object of the coming verb. Next comes our word, mutsu, so 6. 6 eggs, that is. 入れなければいけません. This is a long conjugation of the verb ireru, to put in, which I spent so much time just practicing saying nakereba ikemasen way back in the day, and nakya ikenai and things like nakereba narimasen. That was so hard in the beginning, like 10, 11 years ago. So hard. So I think I spent hours just shadowing and practicing nakereba narimasen and nakereba ikemasen. So now it's like super easy, but it was hard back in the day. So, 6つ入れなければいけません. It was so hard. So yeah, a lot of times I just switch to 入れなきゃ or 入れなければ. You can cut off the last part, but I still tried to practice. Which gives us a meaning of must put in. So in this cooking, one must put in 6 eggs. Tidy that up and we get
この料理に卵を6つ入れなければいけません。
in this food, you must put 6 eggs. That's pretty much the same for a change. Now you can say and write things like
このサラダにトマトを6つ入れなければいけません。
I don't know why you have to put 6 eggs in the salad. Maybe if you're working at a restaurant and it's like 6 eggs, six tomatoes. That's what's going in the salad. Any more, they're getting charged more.
あれか
In
もよ
this salad,
このミニ
you
トマ
must
ト
put most likely tomatoes. It's an egg salad, obviously. Right. There you go. Mutt's 6 tricks. Picture a clever dog or mutt that can perform exactly 6 impressive tricks.
Ew, tomatoes.
So the word
is
mutsu
Teruhiko.
uses the kanji
Mutsu.
6. I mess that up every time. Mutsu じゃなくて mutsu, mutsu, mutsuo. And hiragana tsu and means 6 things.
子供は7歳になりました。
子供は7歳になりました。
Nanasai uses the kanji 7, and one we'll cover much later. We try to only use kanji that we covered in the first part of this series, but sometimes very common words use more complicated kanji. When we choose one of those words for this series, we'll just write it using the hiragana in the writing section, and with furigana in other sections. Unfortunately, this is another word without a dictionary entry because the second kanji here is actually a counter for age. So this word means 7 years old. Writing time. Iyo, tsuzuite. I'm gonna write along with you. There's my Nanasai. Boom. And now we'll get Yuki after she's almost done with arakara nandakke.
OK
All right, speed mode.
いきますよ
I was struggling to write sai in less than 10 seconds. Yeah, you definitely want to pause for that one. And I wouldn't even bother writing that one. We're just going to write
で
the
も
hiragana.
これさターボするの難しくないかこれターボがさどう頑張ってもターボがさできなくない
It's fine. You don't have
なん
to.
かはい
It turns out that turbo is just normal
Mm.
because it's such an easy kanji.
はい
Do you like hoya? Sea pineapple. I don't know if I've ever had it.
あのねちょっとグイな
Little
や
gooey.
つだよね、
うん
グイっていうかなんていうのラバリーというか
Rubbery. I've never had it.
多分1回しか食べたことありません
Oh, she's only had it once.
Mm.
Goya ne? I've had goya. I like
ホヤ
goya.
って何ホヤじゃないの
I don't know. What's turbo sai?
あそのサイはですね
That'll
サイ
get
は
turboed
相当ターボできます
Right. We won't be learning sai for
こうかな
maybe N3. N3, I think.
これさどっちがさ書き順かちょっとわからないんですけど、
We'll learn an
こっちかな？
easier version of sai in N4. It's actually super easy. Actually, we'll just have Yuki write it.
Mm.
Show us the easy version of sai.
はい
So you can actually just that's super turbo.
そうカタカナ「お」に非常に似ています
Yep. That's actually another kanji for sai. But we don't learn that until N4 as well.
Mm.
Anyway.
子供は7歳になりました。
Apparently there's a norito that can be used as a counting song. It goes Hifumi yoi mu na ya koto. Interesting. Nice. Hey, Meets the Fish, thank you so much. I've been trying to convert my username into Nihongo, and my best try is Fishu no Nimitsu. I usually pronounce it Nimitsu. You usually say Nimitsu. I see. Can you do kanji for Nimitsu?
はい
Nimitsu.
2つね
Nimitsu ね。
了
はい
解、
了解です。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございますちょっと
Nimitsu
次のリストに載りました、
Nimitsu. She's going to work on that for you. Thank you very much, Emi. Nimitsu. Ne? I have to try and remember that during the quiz. Nimitsu the fish. Nimitsu ne. I noticed that Kanken training for 3DS is pretty expensive on US sites. Is it cheaper to ship from Japan? If so, what's a good site for buying Japanese video games? I usually just use Amazon Japan. You can get used ones. Often you can get them shipped. If you already have a 3DS, then that's a great option. If you have a Nintendo Switch, they released basically the same exact game on the Nintendo Switch. So that's another option. It's kind of nightmare fuelish. Okay, I won't search it just now. Apparently it's good fresh. Our first word here is kodomo, which
Thank you so
means
much.
child. It's marked with the topic particle wa, so that's what we're about to talk about. Next is our word nanasai, which is marked with the directional particle ni and narimashita, which is the polite past tense of naru, or to become. Naru takes the ni particle when saying something becomes something else. So we have, as for the child, 7 years old, it became. Yeah, the Switch game, it's not bad. A friend of mine basically has been studying that, using that every single day, the Switch game, and he was able to pass recently with almost perfect score the Kanken level 8 just by using that game. So, I mean, he already had a lot of background in Japanese. Like, he's fluent in Japanese already. Just he used it for practicing writing kanji. But still pretty impressive. Of course, contextually, we can assume here that the speaker is talking about their child. So,
子供は7歳になりました。
My child became 7 years old. Or turned 7 years old. And if you do get the Kanken game for Switch, I highly recommend getting the official Nintendo Switch pen. It's like $5, and it works good on the Switch, and I use it on my iPhone even when I'm using the dictionary to search like kanji when I'm reading a book. The little Nintendo Switch pen is perfect. Now you can say and write things like
猫は7歳になりました。
My cat crab part. What am I missing? Looks like, oh, I see. Okay, you're talking about that. Hoya ne. 7 years old. Nanasai. Imagine a 7-year-old Ninja Turtle Raphael using sai made from bananas for training. It's called a nanasai. He keeps trying to practice with Michelangelo, but they just end up eating the bananas. Because, yeah, as far as... Excuse me.
ちょっと次、荒からにさんの名前いきたいと思います。アンディの次が終わったら。
Arakarani ne? Arakarani-san's name. Yuki is finished with that, so she's going to pop that up on screen for us while I... While I look for what I'm looking for. The game Kanken... The Kanken game for 3DS is probably not great for beginners. But this one is quite good for beginners, if you can find this one. Iyo. Mise masho. Saki kore de iyo.
あ、そうですか。
Arakarani-san.
はい。
Arigatou gozaimasu.
ありがとうございます。
Here's your name in kanji. Yuki's going to break that down for you.
ね、まだいるかな。はい。荒からにさんは4つの漢字で、ちょっと今回ね、スペシャルな読み方にしました。
She did a special reading for some of these, and there's 4 kanji.
はい。まず、荒からにのあらで一文字。新しいという字であらと読みます。
The first kanji is ara.
はい。
You can read it as ara. It's the kanji for atarashi, which means new.
はい。
So new.
で、このからという字なんですけど、これはこの花と空で2文字を書いてからと読むことにしました。
She's gonna make this be 2 characters read as kara. The first one is flower and sky.
はい。で、最後の2が、これいつも私結構使っちゃうジェームの赤い玉っていう意味があるジェームなんですけど、
The
忍
second
っていう字。
the second kanji has a meaning of a red gem that she likes to use a lot in names that she makes for people. So we've got a red, the sky is full of flowers that look like new red gems, is what you could think of this as.
はい。
And that is 荒からに
荒からに
さ
さ
ん
んの
name. Thank you very much.
はい、ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。And right now she's working on Brad Ward's Fuji-san. So she's working on that as well.
はい。
So I'm going to show you quickly. This is the game that I think, the kanji game that I think is good for maybe beginners. If you can see that.
はい。
This is, there you go. 250 Kanken Premium. No, it's 250 man ninno. So 2,500,000 people's Kanken Premium. This game it basically allows you to practice individual kanji as many times as you want, writing on screen with example sentences, and then you can practice them in like little quizzes. This one's one of the best, I think. I think this is the best DS game for kanji, and it's not too bad for beginners either. So that's what I would recommend. If you were to, see it in a store while visiting here, but it's kind of hard to find outside of Japan, I imagine. But that's one thing to keep in mind. All right. They're 7 years old. They're not really ninjas yet. Don't forget that the sound nea in banana does not exist in Japanese. So you want to imagine this as a nanasai, not a nanasai. So the word nanasai uses the kanji 7 and means 7 years old. Nanasai, not nanasai. There's no Japanese that's nana. It starts with 2 up. It's nanasai. Gotta practice.
1週間は7日あります。
1週間は7日あります。
7日 uses the following kanji: 7 and sun. You likely already have this one figured out, you genius, but let's take a look at the dictionary anyway. The 7th day of the month. Example: the Tanabata festival of July 7th. 7 times the number of days as one day. 7 days. All right, let's break this one down. All right, we've got Yuki's working on something, so I'm going to read this for you guys. 月の7番目の日。あ、いいの？
はい、いいです。
はい。
月の7番目の日。
So we saw this one for, I believe, Itsuka as well. It's the day's 7th of the month. So the month's 7th day. The month's 7th day. And then our example sentence is?
7月7日の七夕祭り。
はい. So we've got 7月. It's our bonus word. It means the 7th month or July. 7日, which is it's our word. No Tanabata. Tanabata, we're going to learn that in a little bit. It's a festival. Matsuri. Matsuri is a word that means festival. So the 7th of the 7th month, Tanabata Festival. There we have ichinichi.
1日の7倍の日数。
Oh, there we go. We've got a number of days that is 7 times 1 day. It's back. It's back. 7 times 1 day. And 7日間, 7 days. 7 times the number of days as 1 day. 7 days. So 7th. Do I think I'll ever make a video at Dogen? So Dogen and I have talked about making a video for like 3 years now. And it's... I'm bad at doing collabs. I'm bad at like following up and coming up with ideas for collaborations because I'm so busy. I just don't have time to make like side videos. So while I know it would be obviously good for me to do a video with Dogen, I just never did. And then I was going to go visit like a year or two ago, and we were going to make a video maybe then, but we just never got around to it, unfortunately. So I don't know if it will ever happen, but maybe not. As a stopgap until Kanken, I'm using Procreate on my iPad to draw along the RTK1. Nice. My handwriting is pretty bad in both English and Japanese. I grew up with touchscreens. Probably should practice. I hear ya. I'm bad even though I didn't grow up with touchscreens. It's a day of the month, or 7 days. By the way, see that festival name, Tanabata, in there? We're going to be learning the kanji for that next. Writing time for me. It's easy. I guess this one won't really have a turbo mode either. Alright. Alright. There's my 7日.
ちょっとこれない方がいいか。消そう。
いいよ。
五光がヘイロー全然うまく描けないね。
She couldn't draw a good halo for Fuji-san.
ちょっとヘイローはもう諦めよう。よし、これでいこう。
はい。あと、ターボモード7日も頼みたいと思います。よろしくお願いいたします。これを先に見せる？
ターボモード先やる。
はい、Turbo mode is coming.
はい、いきますよ。
Here we go. Wow, the line in 7 becomes gigantic. Yeah, 7 doesn't really turbo at all.
そうだった。全然ターボ
Although it's
しない。
definitely going to be a straight here, whereas in slow writing it's often curved up. But it doesn't have to be. アンディはとても忙しそう。そうだね。忙しいっすよ。
私が富士山ゆっくり書いてるからかな。
いや、そういう意味じゃなくて、今が忙しいんじゃなくて、いつもね。Yes, always busy.
とか。
Alright, Yuki is almost ready for our Fuji-san.
あ、そうだ、ブラトンの名前書いておくんだった。
そうだね。So let's go ahead and get the video back up. She's going to show you Fuji-san for Brad, if you're still here, Brad, in a moment.
1週間は7日あります。
Our first word here is 1週間, or 1 week, which we know is the topic of our sentence since it's marked by wa. In other words, we're about to tell you about 1 week. What are we going to tell you about 1 week? 7日, 7 days. あります. It has. あります is the polite present or future tense of the verb ある, to have or to exist. So, as for 1 week, it has 7 days, or 7 days exist. In proper English,
1週間は7日あります。
1 week has 7 days. I guess, all right. So, here we go.
はい。
Let's take a look at Brad's
はい。
Brad,
富士山が。
arigato.
ありがとうございます。
There's Fujisan. Yuki popped up a picture
はい。
with some Fujisan, and it looks like Sakura over on the right.
そうですね。春になりますんで、ちょっとピンクがなくてね、梅っぽいけどね。
So we don't have any pinks. So it looks kind of like plums with
はい。
with their red flowers. But there you go. I don't know if you're still here, but
あ
if
り
you
が
are,
とうございます。
ありがとうございます。はい、Fujisan. Hi, next up is Austin.
はい。
Radclaw.
ありがとう。
ありがと
ありがとね。
う。はい。While she's working on that, I'm going to pop over here.
はい。
So we'd say there are 7 days in a week, but that works too. Now you can say and write things like
明日は7日です。ありがとうございま
Tomorrow.
す。
Thank you so much,
それ
Tip, for
また
such awesome
エンドレスよ。
art. Thank you for your breath of fresh air. After a long, crazy day, thank you for that, too. Thank you so much, Brad.
あり
Appreciate
がとう
that.
ござい
ありがとう
ま
ございます。じゃじゃん。Hit the heart on that. Thank you so much. ありがとう。Thank you.
す。ありがとうね。これね、何回もこれスーパーチャットするとね、もうエンドレスになっちゃうから、これ。
そうだね。ありがとう。
ありがとうござい
is the
ます。
Nah, no can do on sunny days. You ask a friend to hang out for the day on the 7th. That's you. They say, nah, no can do. That's your friend. It's sunny that day. Well, how about the next day, you ask? The friend responds, if it's sunny, that's your friend. Nah, no can do. 7 days a week, I stay out of the sun. That's how you figured out they're a vampire. So the word nanoka, and then you called Sam and Dean to come take care of her. Nanoka uses the kanji 7 and sun and means 7th day of the week, or 7 days. Nanoka. Nanoka. I can't do that. Nanoka.
7日。
Nanoka. There we go. Okay.
7月7日は七夕です。
Tanabata desu.
7月7日は七夕です。
Tanabata uses the kanji 7 and evening. I've already told you that this is a festival day. Some of you may remember it from the introduction video for this kanji series. I said Michael's a vampire. Let's learn a bit from the dictionary, though. A festival that is based on the legend that the stars Altair and Vega meet on their trip across the Milky Way just once per year on the evening of the 7th in the 7th month. People generally display wishes they've written on a long, thin piece of paper on the branches or leaves of bamboo. Okay, so that's a long dictionary entry. Yep. I guess we'll quickly try and break that down a little bit. The full name of the Kanken DS game you showed is wow. That's the full name. That's like what modern anime names. Jeez. If you copy paste that into Amazon, you should be okay. All right, let's go ahead and try and break this down, Yuki.
はい。
はい。
7月7日の夜。
All right, we'll stop there. So the 7th day of the 7th month, 7日 is the day. で、7月 is July of the 7th month. No yoru. So the night of the 7th day of the 7th month.
研究生と食女性が。
はい。Kengyuse, I believe, is Altair. I can't remember which is which, actually. と、食女性 is the name of Vega. They're two different star names, basically. Ga, so that's the subject.
天の川を
Amanogawa is the Milky Way. Wo, and that's the object.
渡って
So they cross over it.
年に一度だけ
Only one time in a year.
会う
They meet.
という言い伝えを
So it's a story. This is like about that thing is said.
元にして
Moto nishe. So that is the basis of.
行う星祭り
So it's a festival, a star festival that occurs on the basis of the stars, these stars that cross the Milky Way and meet only one time a year. Then we have.
笹の葉に
So on bamboo leaves.
願い事などを書いた
So wrote wishes and things like that. They write on the bamboo leaves.
短冊を飾りつける
Tanzaku is a long piece of paper. And the o is marking that as the object. Kazaritsukeru. So they decorate the leaves with it. They stick it to the leaves to decorate. So you'll see at this time of year, or that time of year, you'll see long bamboo like bamboo cut with the leaves all popping off of it, and there'll be long pieces of paper hung all over him. That means it's Tanabata is coming. People are writing their wishes on it. The main legend about this is about a star god that takes care of cows called Hikoboshi, and a star goddess who makes, love the animations here from Coming to Japan Dan, thank you sir, cloth called Orihime. They fall in love after being introduced by Orihime's father, who was worried about her because she worked too much, after which they stopped working completely due to their insatiable love for each other. Orihime and Hikoboshis. This is much more clear with Dan's animation. When I was writing this and I was speaking, like just the words that went along made it sound like the father and the daughter might be in love. But if you see the image here, that's no longer confusing. So if it doesn't make sense why I'm making this explicit here, it's because I didn't have this animation before I started actually speaking. Not her and her father. Anyway, they're then forced to split up by the same father because they both stopped working, doing their jobs. After begging him not to split them up, he agrees to allow them to meet just one night per year. Shh, the cow stays. Here's a picture of me dressed. That's me at the old kindergarten I worked at. There's his cow. The cow stays. Or his cow, I guess. And there's Hikoboshi and Orihime. Dressed up as that father. Anyway, long story short, this word means Tanabata. I would say 7th of July, but that is almost definitely where that comes from, Brixbuster. Almost definitely where that originates from. Based on the old lunar calendar. It is. Which means that the 7th of the 7th month is usually somewhere in August. This year, it's August 10th. In 2025, it'll be August 29th. Some areas of Japan still celebrate Tanabata in August, calling back to this, though most just stick with August 7th. Welcome from Mossburger. Bring me a burger, Ali-san. Arigatou gozaimasu. 7th, if they do that. Many areas, though, just celebrate it on July 7th. I used to be jacked. I'm not jacked anymore. I run too much.
7月7日は
That's interesting, Space Core. That's new information for me.
七夕です。
We've got a bonus word here. 7月, which means July, or 7th month. I completely forgot to write Tanabata, so I guess I'll do that now. Well, they're not each read as Tana and Bata. The whole word together means Tanabata. So I should mention that. Okay, we'll have Yuki go speed mode. Turbo Yuki!
このまたターボしない7か。
No, they're much better now, Greg. They used to be pretty
で
bad.
かすぎ
Yeah, it's fine. Turbo mode Tanabata. There's not very many situations where you're going to be turbo mode writing Tanabata.
入らなかったの。
I zoomed out. So it's probably not very necessary to have this one, but it is what it is. Yeah, gyms used to be pretty bad in Japan, but they're quite good now. They're pretty much just as good as the ones in the States, although often they don't have quite enough benches, but that's about it. Month. And our last word, Nanoka, the 7th. These are marked by... That completely depends on what your goals are, Note Channel. Also, it depends on whether you're taking a class or not. Mina no Nihongo is 100% in Japanese, so if you're learning on your own and it's your very first book, you're going to be confused if that's what you buy first. By the wa topic particle, meaning we're about to talk about the 7th of the month. Our word, Tanabata, and des. It is come next. So, as for the 7th of the 7th month, interesting, it's Tanabata. Tidying it up a bit, we get
7月7日は七夕です。
July 7th is Tanabata. Now you can say and write things like
今日は七夕です。
Today is Tanabata. I think we've learned enough about this word that a mnemonic is probably not necessary. Definitely not. If you did create one for yourself, though, please share it in the comments. So the word Tanabata uses the kanji
Tanabata.
7 and evening and means Tanabata. That was tough, huh?
昨日の
Could you confirm or bust a myth for me? When I first started learning, someone said, you don't need to learn kanji to understand Japanese, but wouldn't that complicate things? So there's a guy I used to follow, and I still sort of admire him, and I think I'd list him as my inspiration for the way I started studying Japanese. His name was Benny Lewis. He did the Fluent in 3 months was his not his YouTube channel, but his blog back in the day. And his philosophy was just start speaking. Don't worry about anything. Just start speaking from day one. And that's what I did. And it helped. I mean, I was able to speak pretty quickly. But he did a Japanese challenge, Japanese in 3 months. And he decided not to learn kanji because obviously you're not going to learn kanji in 3 months. It's just not going to happen. So he decided just to learn speaking. And what he found pretty quickly is that he was at a severe disadvantage by not knowing the kanji. And found it very difficult. For one, Japanese has like 1 million homonyms. Compared to English, there's no comparison. There's so many more in Japanese just because of the limited number of sounds compared to many other languages. So there's one thing. And also, kanji just give you such great hints to meanings of words. So like if you see a word with kanji, even if you can't read it or you don't know the word, if you know the kanji meanings, you can pretty much know what it means. So like kanji just give you like superpowers when you know them and it comes to learning new words. So, I mean, yeah, I guess it's not 100% necessary, but you're going to do way, way better if you do learn them, I think. Austin-san, Radclaw.
Hi,
Radclaw, thank you again.
お待たせ。
Your name is
お待たせ。
finished. Austin.
はい、オースティン。
Austin, そうだね。
そう、ちょっとね、
See you later, Jeeve.
いろいろ説明します。ありがとう、ジーブ。そう、ちょっと難しいです、これ。はい、オ
little bit
ースティンさん。4文字の漢字にしました。
I got 4 kanji for you.
はい。で、おと、すと、てと、いいんです。
はい、that's how it's split up.
はい。
お、す、て、いん。
はい。おは桜という字です。
O, we're using sakura
うん。
for, sakura, cherry
はい。
blossoms.
で、この、すっていう字は、ことぶきと呼んで、めでたいこと。
Means to celebrate something
はい。
or to, congratulate.
そう、お寿司のすですね。
It's also used in the word for sushi.
さあ、まあ、お寿司はおめでたいこと。
Because
お祝
usually
いの
you eat sushi
ご
at
飯
a
だからね。
congratulatory meal.
うん。
It's like a special occasion. It used to
は
be.
い。
Not anymore, but used to be. Still is, I guess.
はい。で、ここのてなんですけど、これ、ていという字で本当は読むんですけど、んだけがないからね。
うん。
そう。だからちょっとね、いがね、かぶっちゃうんですけど、これはい一つで読んでいきたいと思います。
はい。
で、ていという字、てで読みたいと思ってるんですけど、これは、
righteousness
は
or
い。
upright, constancy.
はい。正しいという字の違う漢字バージョンになります。
It's a different version of tadashi or
はい。
correctness. Can also mean chastity.
はい。で、この陰という字は、音で陰で。
And the in kanji is the kanji for sound.
はい。
There you go. Thank you again.
あり
Appreciate
が
that.
とうございます。
I love when I'm reading something and I don't know a word, but I know each individual kanji and I can just guess the meaning and often be right. Yep. Huge bonus. I try to do the same, but often end up wrong. Sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you're right. Some people like hiniku. Yeah, for sure.
はい。そう。
そうだね。
皮肉。そうだね。はい。
夜
Thank you.
8時ご
で、nimitsu.
そう。
She's gonna get a kanji for you for nimitsu.
ろゲームをしていました。
昨日の夜8時ごろゲームをしていました。
Hachiji uses the following kanji: 8 and time. Remember what we learned about the word rokuji? Well, this is the same, but with 8. It means 8 o'clock. Hachiji. Writing time. The bottom of my G is always too small. There we go. Okay, there's my Hachiji. Let's get Yuki to give us a turbo mode on
はい。
Hachiji.
8もね、ターボしにくい
Yeah,
感じ
8
ですね。
doesn't turbo. That's perfectly okay.
はい。
Just
いき
what it
ます
looks like when someone writes it fast, so that
はい。
people can know what they'll see on paper.
8時。
G turbo is pretty much.
私、この癖で、この土を短
It gets too
く
slow,
書きすぎる
まあ
んですが、ちょっと 皆さんは長く書いてください。
She said she has a bad habit of making the bottom of this too
そう
short, but make sure it's longer ね。
そうね、ちょっと良くないですね、これは。で、8、ちょっと長くしまし
Yep,
た。
says Supermark is reading quite a bit of scientific literature in Japanese. Gotta say, kanji is a blessing. I bet.
はい。そう、8位ね、こうやって、なんかちょっとこうやって書いた方が、ウニーンって。
Yeah, it's cooler like that.
そう、それの方がカタカナのはと、そうそうそう、間違いにくい。
It's easier to not mistake it for a katakana ha.
ははこの、もう、なんかドラムのスティックみたいに。
Drumsticks, yeah.
ドラムス
So
ティックみたいに。
if you draw
いい
8 more
文でいいんです
like
けど。
this, it becomes more obvious what it is. So. All right, on we go.
昨日の夜8時頃、ゲーム
Nope. Could Japanese work with the romaji and spaces purely, or would the homonyms be too much? Yeah, it would be way too much. And it's just it's not like, I don't know. Like, for example, let's see. Like, I mean, in a short word, like hachiji, like it's not terrible, but it's already more characters than here. Like we have 3 characters here versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 characters. So it's already taking too long to write it, right? Although these are easier to write a lot of times. But if you get like a full sentence, even with spaces, it becomes almost I don't know, not legible. Romaji, I feel like. It's just so much faster to read. I think it's when you know kanji, you can start to read Japanese faster than you can English, just because you don't need to stop and sound out everything. You just have 2 characters that give you the meaning immediately just by looking at it. So I think Japanese is way easier to speed read. It just wouldn't make sense to go to Romaji. Just for, like, for what? People who are learning it as a second language? Definitely not.
ゲームをしていました。
Breaking this one down, we have a complex noun created with the no particle. Kino no yoru. Kino means yesterday. Where's good, Red
Mm.
and yoru means night or evening. So, yesterday evening, hachiji. There's our word. Goro. This means around. So, yesterday night around 8 o'clock. Game means game. And it's marked by the object marker, o, which means that the verb in this sentence will be applied to it. The verb is shite imashita, which is the polite past continuous or teiru conjugation of suru or to do. Let's write this sentence out in Romaji just to see what it would look like. It'd be interesting. We've got ki no yoru hachi ji goro ge mu o. We'd have to do this. Wo
はい。
shite imashita. Okay. So, 昨日の夜8時頃ゲームをしていました. So, like, I mean, you could, but I'm not even going to count the number of characters. But if we come back over here, we've got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 characters. And I think if we look down here, it's like we've got more than 17 just on the first line, and we're not even done with the first line of kanji. So yeah, I don't think Romaji, even with spaces, would work very. I mean, you could make it work, and people will get used to it eventually, but it'll never happen. So yesterday evening, around 8 o'clock, a game I was doing. In prettier English,
昨日の夜8時頃ゲームをしていました。
yesterday night at around 8 o'clock, I was playing a game. Now you can say and write things like,
朝8時頃、朝ごはんを食べていました。
this morning around 8 o'clock, I was eating breakfast. Yeah, no, I know you're not, Greg. I'm just saying, like, maybe it could. But I do think there are probably way too many homonyms in Japanese for this to work. Like, It might work in very simple Japanese, but someone was mentioning how they were reading scientific papers. I imagine when you got into there, it would be like, it would get very difficult without the kanji. But I don't know. 8 hachi? Jeez. Hachi is a famous Japanese dog with a statue honoring him outside Shibuya Station in Tokyo. You are going to work on the movie about him. Every day at 8 o'clock, you have to clock into the set of the movie. Your first day, you head over early to the dog pen and find that they're using 8 identical dogs for the part of Hachi. You express, 8 Hachi? Jeez. And looking up at the clock, you realize it's almost 8 o'clock. So you have to rush over to the main set. So the word hachiji uses the kanji 8
hachiji.
and time and means 8 o'clock.
Hachiji.
8つ。
飴が8つ欲しいです。
飴が
So Janice, yeah, any u after an extended vowel is always just an extension of that previous vowel. Always. It's just writing it as u, as u, is one of the standardizations of Romaji. So basically there's a few different standardizations. That's another issue that you'd have. How do you standardize it? There's like 4 different ways, and everyone argues about which is the best. So you'd have to choose that. Do you write kino as oo? Which then is a little bit confusing as, well, is that no particle? Like, what is it? Or a lot of people will write it with the u because it's the u character that you use to extend vowels, but all it's doing is extending the vowel. So that's true for every word, not just kino. If it's an extended vowel with an u that's doing the extending, it's always just an extension of the vowel. Always. You never say kino. It's always kino.
8つ欲しいです。
Yatsu uses the kanji 8 and the hiragana tsu. I'm betting you can guess this one right off the bat, but the dictionary says omo as well. Omo.
思う思う思う
So mo.
そう思う So-
It's extended.
あー
Count of 8 times 1. The next number after 7, I think. So omo.
そう思う
So omo.
そう思う
So
わかんなく
omo.
なったわ
I think it's extended. 8, also read as yatsu. So it means 8. 8 things. You'll notice here that like in mutsu, dogen. Dogen's, of course, is good for learning pitch accent.
ね
It's very hard. My pitch is obviously bad. It's not terrible, but I've never studied it ever. And I did pick up a lot of it over time, just sort of naturally. My Japanese became more natural over time, and shadowing definitely helped me pick up a decent amount of it. But I still get things wrong. Like I say yatsu, but it's yatsu, yatsuo. But I often say yatsuo, which is incorrect. But frankly, doesn't really matter. Like you'll be fine. People would understand that I'm asking for 8 things, even if my pitch accent was backwards. Not a big deal. You can do it from context. But for beginners, you'd need to do some targeted practicing for it to actually make sense and actually learn about it so that you can know what you're listening for. A lot of people think that pitch accent is like emphasizing yatsu, but that's English emphasis. It's actually just raising a pitch from like a low C to a high C, for example, is what I always use going up on a keyboard. It's not hard. You're not pressing the key harder on the keyboard. You're just saying it at a higher pitch, higher note. Yatsu, not yatsu. It's yatsu, like that. So knowing that helps you listen for it. So the dictionary lists yatsu instead of yatsu because the old reading of yatsu is yatsu. But in modern Japanese, it's almost always yatsu with the small tsu in between. All right, I'm gonna break that down. Let's have Yuki read this one out.
はい1の8倍の
Oh,
数
it's back. A count of 8 times 1. That's what this is.
はい7の次の数
The number after or next to 7. Tsugi is next to.
8
8.
8つ
Yatsu. That's just another pronunciation of yatsu with the small tsu, and that's the most common one in modern Japanese. It's almost always はい
京都のお菓子でさ八つ橋ってあるんですけどそれ
There's a type of candy in Kyoto called yatsuhashi.
その名前の八つ橋の八つって これじゃないですかね。
the short yatsu.
違うかな
Yeah, the name of the candy she thinks might be this old reading of yatsu. Yeah, it's still used in some names, I think. That's the most common place it still shows up. It's yatsu with the small tsu in between. Oh, writing time. Can I get there? Can I erase? Yosh! I finished in time. This one probably won't have any turbo, eh?
はい。
Wow. Wow. There we go.
はい。いきますよ。小さかったかな
Good question. I'll show you in a second, Alakarani-san.
はい。
Turbo mode is normal. All right, we'll get
あ、
to the...
8つ欲しいです。
Our sentence starts with ame. I will show you why as soon as we get to the pitch. It means candy. It's marked with ga, which means that this is the subject of our sentence. The emphasis is being placed on it. It is what the next part will apply to. Yatsu, there's our word. Hoshii. Hoshii means I want X, where X is a noun. The des at the end here is just to add politeness to the sentence. It does not act as it is after E adjectives like this. So, candy, 8, I want. Let's tidy that up a bit.
飴が
Yes.
8つ欲しいです。
I don't know if it's I want 8 pieces of candy. I think it can be written with hiragana or katakana.
お漢字の時があると思います。
There are also times with kanji, yes. Now you can say and write things like
チョコが8つ欲しいです。
I want 8 pieces of chocolate. I want 80 pieces of chocolate. Yatsu. You're playing a variation of the classic board game Yahtzee called Yatsu. This game is played with 8 8-sided dice instead of 5 6-sided dice. It has one special rule added to the normal rules of Yahtzee. If you roll 8 8s, you automatically win. Yeah. So the word yatsu uses the kanji 8 and the hiragana tsu and means 8 things. Okay, so the reason the pitch accent is low, as someone already said in chat, Space Core I believe, is sometimes with words, the particle that comes after it changes. Usually it goes low. Specifically this pattern, where it starts low, goes high, and then the particle is low. If you didn't have the particle here, it would look like the word is a different pattern called heiban, which is yatsu, and then the particle is up on the pitch. You don't go back down. So that pattern would be another word I can't think of off the top of my head, but it would continue with a higher particle. So when it goes down on the particle, I mean to point it out by adding a particle. Yatsu o.
8つを
Right, so you're going down on that particle. So it's important to have that so you know what that is. So this little clear one that I always have is indicating where the particle connecting to this word will be if there is a particle. Yeah.
8つに
Oops. Yatsu ni. Yep, you go down.
8つは
Yatsu wa, right? Which brings us to the lesson 2 reading quiz. Yay. In this section of the video, I'll show you a flashcard with the sentence and hiragana. We finished with and meets the fish or nimitsu. Nimitsu kanji. We're going to pop that up for you now.
お待たせしました。
So Yuki's going to break that down for you while I run to the bathroom before the quiz.
はい、私ブレイクダウンできるかな。
Breakdown できますかね？
はい。じゃあブレイクダウンしていきたいと思います。はい、ニミッツさん、漢字3つにしました。And meet the fish ありがとうございます。2と3つ、小さいつね。で、つと3文字の漢字で分けました。で、この2という字はですね、ひとしとかっていう仁義っていう漢字の2と読む漢字なんですけど、これの意味がヒューマニティと virtue とか charity っていう意味があります。で、次3つはこれ光っていう字なんですけど、光と書いて3つと読みます。これの意味は light、 このね L の方の私うまく言えないんだわこれ。はい、light とか、 レイ、X-ray のレイとかね、レーザーのレイみたいなやつです。で、2はこれ、とも読むんですけど、今日やった大きい星の意味があります。英語ではBig Dipper ちょっと難しいな発音が。Big Dipper という大きいこれね、大きい星という意味があります。で、2、3つにしました。ちゃんとブレイキングダウンできてる大丈夫かな、伝わったといいんですけど。ありがとうございます。100% 日本語のブレイキングダウンしたんですけど。
She did it 100% in Japanese, so maybe I should do that again.
マジ
違う？
あ、そうだね。
はい。
ちょっとどうすればいいんでしょうか。まずね、こういうね、ライトとかね、うまく発音できないんですよ。このとっていう字とか。
This one is things like can you scroll back up? Oh yeah, this one's used for the this one's we're gonna learn this part in N4 as well. This means the Big Dipper, but it's just like a dipper, like a dipper for pulling like scooping up water. Specifically at like a shrine or something, they use these when you're scooping up the holy water. And oddly enough, it's also used for the constellation the Big Dipper, which they call it the same thing in English and Japanese. Then the light is to shine on something, and then this is, I believe, what is it, mercy again or something like that?
No, virtue とか
virtue
チャリティっていう。
virtue ね。virtue and charity.
そうなんですよ。等しいという寛大な意味がある。
Yeah, virtue, benevolence, charity, things like that. So there's nimitsu. Well, that's actually good.
はい。
That works quite well. Thank you very much.
そう、ただね、説明はうまくできません。
でも、people were helping you in there.
本当よかった。
はい、ありがとうございます。Greg Easter says, in lieu of possibly not paying for the Genki Grade readers. All right, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Greg-san, would you like Yuki to write your name Greg? Would you prefer Easter? Or would you prefer her to draw something else for you? Let us know.
はい。
She'll intend to go ahead and draw Greg for you while we're going through parts of the quiz. But let's
そ
go
う
ahead
クイズになっちゃうね。
and jump
は
into
い
it. ありがとうございます。
ミスターフィッシュもニミッツさんね。ニミッツ
ニミッツね
ありがとう。そしてグレッグさんもありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
はい。
Thank you very much,
次
Greg.
の名前グレッグかな、それとも教えてください。
はい。You ready, guys, for the typing test? Here we go. Got a version of the word on it. Easter. Along with the audio. Easter がいいんだって。
赤い了解です。
はい。She's gonna work on Easter for you. All right. Thank you very much.
花を一本もらいました。
Listen to the audio and then pause the video. Try and remember how to write that word in kanji. Next, write it on your hand with your finger or on a piece of paper. Then press play and see if you were right. The best way to remember words you just learned is to search your memory for the mnemonic we taught you or the one that you made. So let's get into it. Here we go.
7月7日は七夕です。
Did you? Tanabata. Tanabata.
早い。
早いな. Nimitz the Fish is in first place with Radclaw in second, Coming to Japan Dan in third, Space Corps 2020 in fourth, Rosan in fifth. All right, there we go. Oh, Stargumi in sixth, Five Toed Sloth Bear in seventh, Darwin Caster in eighth. All right. Some people showing up a little bit after. This could be because, they're just catching up, or maybe they're a little bit behind the video. To get right up to the moment in the video, make sure you hit the little live button. There's a little button that says live there. If it's not red, you want to click that. And then you want to double the speed on your video to 2 times. And that'll get you caught up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Solo Q Drew is in 9th, and Oslo is in 10th place. Good job. Some other people might have fallen asleep. It's getting pretty late. はい。
すみません。質問なんですけど、
はい。
イースターさんって
はい
名字、
名字だと思います。
名字の漢字にしていいってことだよね。
そうです。
はい、
お願いします。はい。You are
7月7日は七夕です。
はい、pause that. And let's get out our first random one. Yuki's supposed to read out the names for this one, but she's going to be working on Greg Easter's last name right now. So I'm going to pull out the first one for us. Wi-Fi はとても遅いな, says Space Core. Oh no. All right, our first kanji, random kanji for today, not word, is going to be blue. Blue. Let's see who can get blue out there for us. Hayai. Nimitz the fish is in first with Star Gumi in second, Radclaw with the E adjective in third place, Space Corps 2020 in fourth, Rosan in fifth, Come to Japan Dan in sixth place, Darwin Castor in seventh, Oslo in eighth, Stinkhead in ninth with the full color, Aoiro. That's ninth place right there, and Five-Toed Sloth Bear pop it in at 10th place. Very good job. Aonori says, Come to Japan Dan. Yes, indeed. All right, popping back over to the video. Boom. Let's see what we got next. Y'all are fast.
バスケットボールは5人いります。
はい、5人。お、早っ。はい。Nimitz the fish in first, Stargumi in second, Come Japan Dan in third. Radclaw says fast. Well, not quite. That's a different one. Do in fourth place, Solo Kudru in fifth, Five-Toed Sloth Bear in, I believe, sixth, Oslo in seventh, Dean-san in eighth, Radclaw in ninth, Space Corps in 10th, and Come to Japan Dan popping up the more common version of it for his second placing in 11th place. All right, let's see what it looks like.
バスケットボールは5人いります。
Yes, indeed. All right. Let's see what our next one is. Let's pull this out slowly. My phone auto-corrected the 5. Slowed me down. Speaking of Easter. Ja-ja. We have East.
Oh.
East. Hey, Andy, can you break down the radicals for the kanji blue? I can. Hi, Solo Q Drew is in first. Nice job. Come to Japan Dan in second. Darwin Kessler in third. And Nimitz the fish in fourth. Ro went with West. Space Corps in fifth. Din in sixth. Ro in seventh. Stargumi in eighth. Nice job. Five-Toed Sloth Bear in ninth. Nice job. Yes, that is correct. The parts in blue, we had, hold on one second. On top, I believe we learned this part as, Blue's Crown. So that's the actual name of this. This part is actually known in Japanese as Blue's Crown, or the top of blue. And then the bottom is just moon. So it's a blue's crown on top of a moon. So I thought of the moon wearing a blue crown and giving off a blue light, like this blue pen. Interestingly, it used to be written long ago with the part for yen below it, which doesn't help you at all. But those are the parts. My cardinals are so rusty. It doesn't help because they were basically picked at random, it seems like. When we were going through the history, I found that they're all just borrowed. It's almost as if they forgot about those parts and were like, oh, wait, we have to use kanji for some of these. So anyway, let's pop back over to the video and see what's next.
子供は7歳になりました。
はい、7歳になりました。
早い。
早い! Should have just used arrows. Nimitz the fish is in first with Stargumi in second, Solokuju in third, Darwin Castor in fourth, Come to Japan Dan in fifth, Radclaw in sixth, Space Corps in seventh, Ro in eighth, and Arakarani in ninth place. Five-Toed Sloth Bear pops in there at 10th. Oh, that rhymed. Interesting. Sometimes that happens. And there is what you'd normally actually write it like. Although you could also, of course, if you wanted to, this would be perfectly acceptable. The more like that, actually. The easy version of Sai. Right? That would also be perfectly acceptable. And we'll be learning that kanji in N4. So before my keyboard was defaulting to nanasai, but I typed it a couple times the other way to make sure it came first. Maybe I'm not as fast on Flick as I thought. PC keyboard is so much faster, says Space Corps. Brian Biggs, you get there as well. Nice job in 11th place. All right. Oh, yeah, we got to pop out a new kanji here.
ありがとうございます。
すいません。すいませんね。
すいません。ゆっくり選んでおります。
はい。俺もゆっくり選んでいます。はい。Well, this one hasn't popped up yet in one of our quizzes. I think this is a good kanji. I'm a little bit hungry. Eat! Eat!
あ、私書ける。
はい。Solo Q Drew is in first with Stargumi in second, Radclaw in third, Come to Japan Dan in fourth, Darwin Caster in fifth, Space Core in sixth, Nimitz the Fish in seventh, Do in eighth, Five Toes Sloth Bear in ninth, Arakarani in 10th, Brian Biggs in 11th place, and Oslo in 12th. Greggles, that is the correct verb, but you gotta hit the spacebar once to get it to pop up. Joshu is in 12th place, I believe, with the full word kuishimbo. Kuishimbo. And Nimitz the Fish, LOL, I typed it and pressed enter and threw my phone down just to realize I missed the enter button. Ah, ramen tabeoze. Tabeoze. Kuoze. Ramen kuoze. All right, what's his name? なんだっけ出てこない頭の中に。なんて言うんだっけ再起系で出てくるあいつ。
あ、粘土
粘土です、粘土。
粘土力。
粘土くんね。ラーメン食おうぜ。
あ、ラーメン食いこうぜ。
子供は7歳になりまし
Oh, I
た。
forgot to show you that one.
6時に夕ご飯を食べました。
はい、6時。6時。早い。早い。Nimitz the Fish in first with Radclaw in second, Stargumi in third, Solo Q Drew in fourth, Come to Japan Dan in fifth, Darwin Caster in sixth, Ado in seventh, Alakarani in eighth, Space Core in ninth, Oslo in 10th, and Brian Biggs, that is correct, that's the more common way to write it, we'll give it to you, in 11th, I believe, and Greggles popping in there in 12th. Technically, we want the kanji for 6 to pop up, because this is actually teaching us to read the kanji for 6, but that's okay. Five Toes Sloth Bear is there as well in 13th. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one.
6時に夕ご飯を食べました。
6時に夕ご飯を食べました。Oh, there's 14th place for Ronin Craftsman. Thank you very much, Ronin. Yuki's still working on the final kanji for this word, but let's go ahead and have her pop out one of these. She hasn't gotten to pick any yet.
はい。
お願いします。
了解です。ちょっとね、ごめんね。いろいろ迷いがあって。
she's a little bit undecided on the final kanji, so I think she's already changed a few. Ooh, there's a good one. I think we had this one last week. It's okay. Ready?
はい、いきますよ。
Electricity. Electricity. Let's see if you can get this one fast. 早い。早い。早いよ。Nimitz the Fish in first, Come to Japan Dan in second, Darwin Caster at the full word in third, Stargumi in fourth, Solo Kuju in fifth, Do in sixth, Space Core in seventh, Brian Biggs in eighth, Radclaw in ninth, Greggles in 10th, Darwin Caster in 11th. Very good. That was fast. Don't worry, we're going to get Yuki to read off a few of the names that pop up very shortly. Very shortly. Five Toes Sloth Bear is there as well. In 12th place. Very good job. Let's see what our next one is.
昨日の夜8時ごろ、ゲームをしていました。
8時ごろ。Ho ho ho. Before the sentence was even finished. Nimitz the Fish was in first with Solo Q Drew in second. And then we had Stargumi in third and Darwin Caster in fourth. But then Radclaw raced across the finish line in fifth with Space Core just behind in sixth and Come to Japan Dan sliding in seventh. Oslo was right there behind Dan in ninth, or was that eighth? If I lost count, I have. That would be eighth. Then No was in ninth and Five Toed Sloth Bear was in 10th. Greggles had the correct word but forgot to hit the space bar or whatever they're using maybe on their phone. That would give them, I believe, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th. But Biggs gets there in 12th instead. My keyboard loves getting stuck in English characters for some reason. Gotta love Microsoft IME. Whoops, says Greggle. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look.
昨日の夜8時ごろ、ゲームをしていました。
昨日の夜8時ごろ。ゲームをしていました。はい。Yeah, she had it. But then she decided not to use that one.
ごめん本当に
She's very, very undecided on this last kanji. It's okay. It's okay. She's picking very politely for you, Greg. Thank you very much.
そうなんだよね
Since this is going to be your last name, she wants it to be good, I think. Right. All right, let's see. This one, well, no, we did this one last week. Just got Genki one today. Wanted to stop by and say hi. Welcome to the stream, Atlas707. Thank you for stopping by. Well, this one's never showed up on a quiz. Let's see who can get country. Country. The kanji for country. I wish you luck on your journey with Genki Atlas. Hayai. Stargumi in first. Come to Japan Dan in second. Nimitz the Fish in third. Darwin Kester in fourth. Brian Biggs in fifth. Ro in sixth. Space Core in seventh. Gregels in eighth. Five Toes Loft Bear in ninth. PL Shamatarat. I'm new here. Welcome.
ようこそ
Easy Money. Welcome to the quiz. I believe you are in 10th place. Yes. Solo Q Drew in 11th. Radclaw in 12th. With Josh-san throwing up Beikoku, the word for America, in, I believe, 13th. Ronin Craftsman in 14th. And Come to Japan throws in Chugoku for China. But he was already there. So Loveline, welcome to the quiz. I believe you're in 15th. We've got a lot more people joining in now. Let's see. I have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15th. Yeah, nice. Kankoku says, Come to Japan Dan. Okay, done now. Very good job. All right, popping back over to the video. Let's see what our next one is. All right. The video has stopped loading.
なんだって
Nino Kuni daisuki. Uh-oh. So we're at 31:49. I guess I have to hit refresh.
どうしてなんだい
Nihon being Japan
Right.
and 31 in at 48.
Stop.
There we go.
テストの日までまだ4日あります
はい。テストの日まで。おいおいおいおい。
早すぎ
おい
だよ
おいおいおい。はい。We'll give it to you. Come to Japan Dan in first, Stargumi in second, Space Core in third, Ro in fourth, Nimitz the Fish in fifth, Radclaw in sixth, Darwincaster in seventh, Brian Biggs in eighth, Solo Q Drew in ninth, Oslo in 10th, Five Toes Loft Bear in 11th place. Very good job. That was fast. Okay. I don't even know if I was loaded yet.
テストの日までまだ4日あります。
Very good job. I'm live, but I saw 5 answers before I even saw the card. That's what I get for living on Mars. Well, yeah, it's what it is. Although I guess the data for the answers comes a lot faster than the video, eh? LL, interesting how there were 4 before it played. All right, jumping over to the board. It looks like Yuki has finished Greg's last name. I don't know if you're still here, Greg Easter-san, but thank you again for the donation. She is finished with your name now, I think.
そう
はい
ちょっと
Oh, she's still checking some.
はい
Beikoku. Yes. Yeah. Rice
これで
Eagles.
いきたいと思います
Hi, here we go.
はいちょっとねとっても名字っぽいんですけど
So she made one that is very similar
そう
to a last name.
あとね
A
この
last name with 4 characters.
はいいいすたでちょっと伸びがないんですけど、4文字にしました。
Hi, she went with 4 characters. There's no extension here, even though it should be ista. But that's best you can do with kanji, because kanji don't necessarily have a ta that is extended. So we have su ta.
はい。まずね、このいのいで、この2つの1つ目の漢字をもう一回繰り返すという、
Right.
このシンボル、
So
過去漢字
basically,
で。
it's the same kanji twice, but there's a symbol that you can use to indicate that you're using the same kanji twice, and that looks like this.
そう。
Basically.
時々の時になってるとか、人々の人になってる時の漢字が、これになります。
Doki. So it's really that you could also write this as the same kanji twice. So that's what this symbol is. That's what the second kanji that she's using for your name is using. So you've got E. And I believe that is a well, right? A water well.
はい、そうです。これが井戸の井っていう字で、で2回いでこれで伸ばしたいと思っています。
Right, so she's extending it with 2 water wells.
はい。まあ1でいいんだけどね。
But of course one.
まあそう。 で、すはこれ守るという字ですと読みます。
The second one is to protect. To protect something.
そう、guard って感じかな。
Guard, yeah.
で、このね、どうしてもこのたで伸ばす漢字がなくてですね、それをこの多いっていう意味のあるこのたが、田んぼのたしかたがね、名字で使えないのよ。た単体で。
So the struggle she was having is that there's very few kanji that have ta that can be used for last names. You have a lot more freedom when choosing kanji for first names, but for last names, there's only certain ones that you can use. So you have to restrict yourself. So the only two that existed for ta that she could use for this are either this one, which means many, or the one for field. Like a rice field. So you could have been a protector of rice fields and wells, or you could guard the many wells for your people. So either way.
そういう感じかな。そうだからね、どうしてもこれで書くとイースターになっちゃうんですけど、
So it becomes Easter instead of
ね、
Easter.
そう。
But that's okay. I think it sounds close enough. So there you go. Thank you very much. And yes, that is exactly what it's used in. It's used in iro and ware and things like that, for sure. Very nice.
ありがとうございます。
はい。So, with that in mind,
はい。
it's time for Yuki to participate in the quiz. Yuki's going to pull one out, and she's going to read out
やっぱり
all of the names for this round.
頑張ります。
Welcome. Welcome back.
帰ってきました。はい。
Montana Margot is not here. She might have fallen asleep because it's probably pretty late for you guys.
あ、そうだね。確かに。もう1時になっちゃった。あ、はい。いきますよ。
はい。
はい。
Right. As in to the right, not the correct right. It's on the right.
はい。
はい。
Limit the fish. First. Sorokyu Drew. Second. Stargumi. Third. Radcrow. Fourth. Come to Japan. Fifth. Darwin Caster. Sixth. Space Corps. Seventh. Low. Eighth. Five-toed sloth bear. Ninth. スターグミさんは飛ばしまして、ブライアン・ビッグス、10th、オズロー、11th、ラブリン・タンドンさん、11、12あれ、オズロもう一回、あれ、オズロもう一回じゃないよね。イージーマニーさん、13th だよね。
はい、合ってます。
合ってる？
はい、
合ってる？
OK。
やばい、ラットクロウさんは
大丈夫。
飛ばしまして。
全部飛ばしていい。はい。次回日本語でいいよ。
そうだったわ。
そうだったよ。
そうだ、私日本語だったわ。
かわいい、セズローさん。イジマニさん。
イジマニさん。
はい。Throwing some people off quick. Let's go.
日本では5月5日は子供の日です。
はい、my turn.
はい。
Come to Japan dance, sneak it in there with first place, Radclaw in second, Nimitz the Fish in third, Do in fourth, Stargumi in fifth, Lin in sixth, Darwin in seventh, Space Corps in eighth, Oslo, not quite, Lovely Tandon in ninth, Brian Biggs in 10th, Five-Toed Sloth Bear in 11th.
はい。ブレイムオートコレクトですね。
So. You had a small tsu there instead of a big tsu. Instead of itsuka, you wrote ikka.
そうだね。
Which means one family. Oddly, ne? Ikka is like one family, right? Or a single family unit. My stats for nerds windows is way too big. It's hard to see the word. Haha. Always got an excuse when I'm not first. 言い訳だな。言い訳 means excuse.
日本では5月5日は子供の日です。
はい。Popping back over. We're going to let Yuki pull this one out again as well because I've pulled out all the other ones, a bunch of them.
イエーイ、これにしたいと思います。
This is the one she wants to do. It is
はい。
flower.
はい。日本語でいくよ。
はい。
はい、スター組1番、イエーイ、ソロキュートルー。 番リミッツ・ザ・フィッシュ3番ラドクロ4番ダーウィン5番カムトゥジャパン6番ショーカ7番ラブリン・タンドン8番オズロ9番リン10番ブライアン・ビッグス11番スペースコア12番ファイブトードスロスベア13番イージーマニー14番やばい13番からね結構きついのよ、
そうだね。
ジョシュは15番、ローさんは16番花粉症さんは飛ばしましてラードクローも飛ばしましてどうしたんですか？いきなりディプレッションの人がいますね。はい。OK。
Very good job.
16番まで来ました。
Nice job, guys. Let's see what our next one is.
1週間は7日あります。
7日あります。
早いな。
はい、Nimitsu Fish in first with Come to Japan Dan in second, Radclaw in third, Stargumi in fourth, Solo Q Drew in fifth, Alakarani in sixth, Oslo in seventh, Darwin in eighth, Brian Biggs in ninth, and Space Core popping in there at 10th. Five-Toed Sloth Bear is also ready to go in 11th with Easy Money in 12th place on the typing test, and Loveline in 13th place. All right. Good job. Let's see what it looks like.
1週間は7日あります。
はい。There are 7 days in a
はい
week, or 1 week has 7 days. はい。We're going to give another one to Yuki here. Ba-bum.
はい、いきますよ。
Neither do I come to Japan, Dan, and I choose it.
What?
What?
ニミッツ・ザ・フィッシュ1番スター組2番カムトゥジャパン3番ソロキュードゥルー4番
Rosan, you're correct for the last one. That's 14. はい
はい、ローさんすいません。ラドクロ5番アラカラニーさん6番スペースコア7番ダーウィンキャスター8番
あれはい、はい。合ってる。
ブライアン・ビークス9番9番カムトゥジャパンさんは飛ばしまして、
はい、
オズロ10番ローさん11番ファイブトードスロスベア12番イージーマニーさん13番ラブリンタンド14番
はい、やってます。Good job.
はい、ちなみに飛ばしましてっていうのは I'm skipping it です。
そう、飛ばす means to skip someone. リングの映画を見たら7日まで死ぬでしょう。
そうなんですよ。
そうだね。見ないようにします。
うん、
9番スペースコア。9番草。
この料理に卵を6つ入れなければいけません。
I just noticed the song restarted right there. はい。Nimitsu Fish in first with Stargumi in second. Come to Japan Dan in third. Solo Q Drew in fourth. Darwin Kester in fifth. Space Core in sixth. Radclaw in seventh place. Brian Biggs in eighth. Eric, welcome to the quiz, in ninth. And Oslo in... Well, not quite, but we'll give you 10th because it sort of works. Do in 11th, and Come to Japan Dan's throwing some eggs around with Five-Toed Sloth Bear in 12th.
Hi.
I meant to say 9番 for whoever.
それね、
苦
しくて出た言葉だからそれ。
そうですね。はい。
この料理に卵を6つ入れなければいけません。
Something happened to our things here. I don't know what happened there. I didn't notice. Must have happened during the render.
ちょっと散らかりたいんですよ。
It wasn't like that in the edit. Whoa, what am I doing here? All right, let's see what's next.
はい。
Ba-bam.
これもう私全部弾くのこれから。
うん。
マジ？私
I
全
did
部。
the first half. You get the second half.
ウエスト。
What? It's not West. West is out of the
これも使えな
question.
くなったわ。
はい。
はい。これでいきたいと思います。
はい。お願いします。
はい。
Entrance.
はい。
Entrance.
これ漢字だったっけ？
やりましたよ。
これちょっと私。
トリン。
ってるんじゃないこれ。もしかして。それ私が読むんだわ。
そう、それはあなたですよ。あなたですよ。だんだん苦しくなるよ。
ニミツダフィッシュ1番、カウントジャパン。カウントジャパンさん入り口2番、ブライアンさんも入り口3番、ダーウィンさん4番、ラドクロ5番、ソロキュードゥ6番、ラブリータンドンさん
Not quite.
惜しいかな惜しい、大ズロさんはちょっと違いますね。
ちょっと違うね。
スター組7番、エリック8番、ダーウィンキャスターもう一回出た？
大丈夫。
はい。
もう一回出たわ。
もう一回出た？
はい、大丈夫。
もう入ってるから、OK で、スペースコア9番、ローさん10番、イージーマニー11番、ソロキュードゥル、あれもう一回出た？
はい。
オーズロ、ついに、はい、OK です。12番、ファイブトルスロスベアは13番。グレゴーズさんはちょっと違いますね。
立ち入り禁止 says solo Q.
はい、いいですね。
Mossburger entrance to my mouth now.
そう、ちょっと違う人ね、わかる。ちょっと違うのがわかります。
The difference here is important. So we've got person, which a couple people have written, which you'd write the second stroke from here in the middle, eh?
そう。
And then for entrance, you write the second stroke from up above the first stroke like that.
はい、上手だね。
Person? Entrance.
そうです。
ね。Very subtle difference, but different. はい。Alright, popping back over to the video.
飴が8つ欲しいです。
8つ欲しいです。8つ欲しいです。Star Gumi is in first with Nimitsu Fish in second. Coming to Japan Dan in third. Solo Q Drew in fourth. Ro in fifth. Brian Biggs in sixth. Darwin Caster in seventh. Radclaw, sort of, in eighth. Alakarani in 9 ban. Space Corps in 10th. Oslo in sort of 11th. はい。Five-Toed Sloth Bear in 12th. Radclaw, for real, in 13th. And Eric, sort of, in 14th. It is most common, well, so I say sort of on these ones because with most counters, it is most common to use the actual number. But I think with these ones in particular, with the tsu counter, I think it is more common to use the kanji than it is to use the Arabic numeral, speaking anecdotally. So that's one thing to keep in mind. With tsu counters, let's see, yatsu. I guess the number does pop up first, but I feel like this is just a feeling. You'll see them more often with the kanji, but I'm not sure. どう思いますか? Yuki-san.
どっちもあると思います。
She says there's both, so either one is fine. But definitely want to use the kanji when possible on this series because that's what we're studying.
はい。
ところで、モスバーガーは何ですか? It's the name of a burger chain in Japan. It's like a slightly healthier McDonald's, I guess.
スライトリヘルシアなんかな?
Probably. I don't know. I feel like they have a little bit higher quality products. I don't know. Less whatever's going on. Ohio, first time catching a stream. By the way, the Genki series is a lifesaver. Thank you for the content. You're very welcome, Eric. I'm glad that they've been helpful.
Yeah.
And welcome to the stream. More veggies? Says Greggles. Maybe.
多分 more veggies かな.
They've also got things like rice burgers, which is like a patty made of like stuck together rice instead of a burger. Things like that.
まあグリルドライスボール、なんかシーンライスボールって感じだね。
Yeah. Things like that. How's KFC in Japan? Not very good. Not very good at all, actually. Unfortunately. はい。
はい、いきますよ。おー。えい。
South. Oh, we've got a lot of cardinal directions today. The funny thing is that the fried chicken is the best menu item at Mossburger. I've never had that before. Ramen burger? What?
はい、
I kind of want to try that now.
1番、ニミツダフィッシュ2番、ソロキュードゥルーさん、3番、カムトジャパン4番、ダーウィン5番、ブライアン6番、スペースコー7番、 ローさん8番、ファイブトードスロスベア、9番、グレゴーズ10番、
あれ
イージーマニーさん11番。あ、まあヒントで言えば確かにアレックスさんは正解ですけど、ちょっと違います。ラドクロ11番、12番かな、
11だと思う。
本当？だって11がさ、もう出てたよ、これ。
あ、本当だ。12番。All good, Alex. It happens.
そう、大きい星だよね、わかる。
いや、でも多分、全然違うところに行ったみたい。
あ、そう？
そうそう。ストリームのずっと向こうに行ったらしい。指で数える。
北の反対って言ってるから、それで、それ。
今キャッチアップした。そう。ヒントとしては合ってます。
はい。
はい。Very good job. Let's see what we got. 9番、10番。
飴が8つ欲しいです。
Sorry. Let us know how many you got right down in the comments. That's the last one, which means we get one more random kanji. ババン。
ついにアンディが引く？
はい、引きます。
はい。
Good!
お
Good game! Not the game over. It's a good game. 最後の漢字。
はい。
よい Says Coming Japan Dan in first. GG with Nimitsu Fish in second. Solo Kuju in third with Brian Biggs in fourth. Eric, welcome to the stream. First time here, he says. In fifth. Space Core in sixth. Ro in seventh. Alakarani in eighth. Stargumi in ninth. Darwin Kester in 10th. Alex Gravnor in 11th. Five Toed Sloth Bear in 12th. Greggles in 13th. And Loveline Tendon in 14th ban. Very good job. I should have just left the E. Takes too long to erase. Is what it is. Radclaw gets there as well in 15th ban.
はい。
Nice job.
15th 番。
15番。ね。すごい。早かった。素晴らしい。
みんな早いな。
Good job, guys.
気合入ってる。
気合入ってます。はい。Learn the next 10
Oslo
words
in
by clicking here. If the video is already out, it is not. Also, if you're a member of ToKiniAndy.com, you can get our Anki deck containing all the kanji we've learned so far and all the words and sentences that we'll be showing in this series. Yes, you can. また次のビデオで会いましょうね. See ya!
はい。
The best video I ever made, right there. Oh, not that one. Not that one. I didn't make that one. All right. How's it going, guys? Good job. Thank you for hanging out today. I hope you had fun. I know I did.
いやみんな早かったね。新しい言葉を作ったね。9番と10番。
9番 and 10番ね。My brain kept wanting to just type 素晴らしい。
おー。
for good. For いいね。For good.
私にじゃなかったか。
私
にじゃない。
僕はスーパーチャットを買います。財布が開いた。開いた。大丈夫ですよ。でも動画が大好きです。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。フェイスコールさん。ありがとう。
大丈夫ですよ。
全然大丈夫ですよ。
はい。ありがとうございます。
I made it to the end, Sister Gumi. お疲れ様。
はい。お疲れ様です。ありがとうございます。
スリピかな ?You guys rock. 石です。You guys are rock. ありがとうございます。
いい意味なんその。
いい意味です。
You rock のロックね。
そう
オッケー。やべえ、私ちょっとね、昨日。
Yeah, thanks for coming to hang out. ピエロシマタラット。Hope you had fun.
ひねくれてたわ、今。
9番 T-shirts coming soon. You're very welcome, Greggles. Thanks for hanging out. I made it to the end, says Verora. Thank you. Appreciate you guys.
お疲れ様です。みんなありがとうございます。
Radclaw says, that was a fun stream. Thank you. I had fun too. ありがとうございます。One of these days we have to go back to a Dragon Quest. What was it? Dragon Quest? Was it Dragon Quest?
そうだよ、
Dragon Quest 10?
ドラゴンクエストだよ。
Dragon Quest 10 live streams and things like that. Although we never have time to stream games anymore. Oh well. アンディさん、今日は
なんでかな
ものすごくありがとうございます。
なんかファンが増えてる。いいなぁ。
いいなぁ。
いいなとか言う。
アラカラニ says, thanks guys. Thank you very much.
ありがとうございます。
Thanks for your support, guys.
ねえ。なんかたまにはさ、でもあれができるかもね。今度さ、このさ、ワードシリーズ終わったら、スクリーブリオでそのワードデッキを作って、
まあそうだね。That could be good. Wait, 10. So the MMORPG. Yeah, we did a live stream with a bunch of people here on the channel for Dragon Quest X. Yeah, not just you guys. We all dressed up as whatchamacallits, as eggplants. I have pictures. Let's go to Dragon Quest X Hiroba. Hiroba. I don't know if I can log in still. Let's see. I should have my pictures. Dragon Quest X 公式合ってるよ。これだ。
なんかさ、
Hiroba login. Oh. Let's see if I still have it. I am not a robot. Forgot to check the box. It's so hard to create an account on this. Okay, so here we go. Pop this up. Here's my characters. I believe we streamed on this character. This was my little guy that Yuki and I played when we were on our own.
すごい。ちびアンドイ頑張ってるね。アンドイさん。
We played a lot, but we played a lot after we stopped streaming it because we were having so much fun with it that we wanted to play on our own and it was good studying. But then this was the character that we actually streamed on. So if we go to our pictures, 日記だったかな？どこにある？
西を書くなのかなあ、思い出アルバムだ。
Check it out. We all dressed up as eggplants. This is what they're talking about, Dan and Redclaw. This is all of us dressed up as eggplants in Dragon Quest. So,
画像を削除しますな。
No! Not 削除。
それ X に載せちゃうの。
Share on Twitter. What? This is hard. Here we are on our sharks. Yuki's on a golden sasori, on a golden stinger.
かわいいじゃん。
And then someone's getting married at the church. We're all at the wedding. All right, and then we stacked up on each other. There's a terrifying picture. Look at that. 2020, October 6th, 2020. 3.5 years ago. What's cursed in Japanese? You guys have a podcast.
呪われてる。Cursed は呪いかな。
呪われている。So, 呪い。We did do a podcast. We did like 30 or 40 episodes of a podcast in just Japanese. As easy as we could do the Japanese. But it was very free form. So like it wasn't probably easy enough for a lot of people. But is there still a lot of people playing Dragon Quest X? Yeah, I think so. I think there's still a lot of people. We were deep in the pandemic. It was good times. Indeed. Man.
ねえ、楽しかったね。
ね。Oh, remember this? Where we all were doing this event to get all these stickers. There's Radclaw.
本当だ。
That's Radclaw. Is this Dan?
これ
This
さ、
might be Dan.
浮き輪だったのかな
So it was a tube.
かわいい。
ね。I think we were having a bit too much fun. Oh, and this was, what's that? There was a person that was helping us on all the quests. Japanese
アジ
person.
サイじゃない。アジ
Ajisai-san.
サイじゃないかな。
Was that Ajisai-san? I can't remember.
ちくわに乗ってる。
Chikua and Ikaten. No, just Ika. Ukeru.
おでんなんだよね。
Oh, and then we finished a big old quest. That was a fun game.
あれだよね。2週間前はここでお葬式あったんだよね、みんな。
Oh, was there a big, there was a,
セレモニーが for
There was a
鳥山
funeral?
明。
There was a funeral
なんか
for
semi-funeral
for the guy who made Dragon Quest.
うん。
Or who made, what is it called?
鳥山明さん。
No,
あの
Dragon Ball. He also made Dragon Quest. That guy. They had a funeral in Dragon Quest X for that, I guess.
うん。
Nah. Good times. Good times. Someone was saying how Chibiandoi was a good name. I agree that Chibiandoi is a wonderful name. Character Kirikai. I really wanted to switch over to Chibiandoi for the streams, but the problem is that for that, like we'd already done the stories together on everything. So like going back to him in the middle of a story would have been kind of sad.
あ、普通の仲良し写真じゃないこ
So
れ。
there's Yuki and Andy. It was just us. We didn't tell anybody about these characters. Anyway, that's enough of our Omoide albums.
本当だね。
夏ははい Little Sego's head too. Yeah.
うん
So am I.
ね
I am too, Radwell. We're about the same height.
そうおととい昨日 ついに私久しぶりにスイッチをねコンセント入れましたので
She turned on her Switch for the first time in months just the other day. And there was an update for Dragon Quest X. Maybe we'll jump back in there someday. It's so hard to renew your membership on that game, though.
ねでもねいいよね結構一緒にさそのストーリーを読みながらやれば割とリスニングの練習にもなるし
It's very hard Japanese. Well, not very hard, but there's a lot of like Dragon Quest specific words. But yeah, reading it live on chat is actually very good studying. So we could have Yuki read everything for us in the Dragon Quest thing.
頑張って早口でいきたいと思います。
I don't know if we do it on ToKini Andy channel or if we jump over to the gaming channel. I don't know what to do with those things. What's up, Blur? Unfortunately, I can't read Arabic, but I love how it looks for what it's worth. Nope, not 6'2". I think I'm 5'6".
何
Maybe.
6'2 って
6'2" tall.
あ
測り方ね。
はいはいはいはい
背の高さ。
背の話ね。
そう。
はい。
Gaming channel makes sense. Yeah, I mean, we have a gaming channel. We just never used it.
ブルーアーさんと読むのかなブルーアーさんって読むのブレー
ブルーかな
ちょっと読めないんですけどハートくれてありがとうございます。
Excuse me. Welcome, Hypnotist X. Unfortunately, we're done for today. It's about time for us to go have some lunch. I guess. ね。
あ、そうですね。
そうだね。And hope everyone has a wonderful week. Next week, we'll be jumping into Lesson 3. It's already available on the website for those of you who want to get a peek ahead. Lesson 4 is not quite finished because I haven't finished the script. Dan is ready to edit Lesson 4. He's like, hey, when's 4 coming? And I'm like, I haven't finished. So my work for this afternoon, while you guys are all sleeping, is going to be working on the Lesson 4 script. So I can get that filmed and sent over to Dan.
でももうちょっとで終わるんでしょあ、そんなこと
I think I finished
大丈夫かな
I finished a
これ
few words. I actually don't know. Where am I at on the script?
大丈夫やるよ
Let's see.
私たちはやるよ
Kanji
大丈
reading.
夫
Lesson 4. Let's see.
なんとかするよ
Finish the first word.
やる
First
気はあ
word
り
is
ます
good. Hi. I finished the first word out of 9. So is what it is.
ああ
I need at least 4 times one day to edit. Indeed. Yeah, I'll get it to you. Oyasumi, Michael Irwin.
はいありが
Thank
と
you,
うございます
I'm glad to
お
hear it.
やすみ
We will,
ほら
Five Toads Law.
もう恐れちゃうから just joking よって言ってるじゃんほら
I know. Not really, Greggles. I mean, it may become one over time. I imagine like Easter eggs will start popping up eventually, but I haven't really seen anything for Easter outside of like
そうだね
English schools. So no, not really a
う
thing.
んなんか最近はおしゃれなデパートだとバニーのチョコレートを売っています。
Oh, really? She says recently at like very upscale department stores, they're selling rabbit chocolate.
そう
Chocolate made in the shape of rabbits
だけど
during Easter, but that's about it.
だけどね多分何するかとかはね分かってないと思う。
So nobody knows what it is or why. I mean, no one knows why there's rabbits for Easter anyway. I think it has to do with some old pagan god or something. But the rabbit has nothing to do with Easter, like originally. But that is what it is. Yes, it's 1 a.m. I think for a lot of people watching right now. So I think it's time for us. Shout out my friends, Honorayo channel. All right.
はい。
Is it White Rabbit? Could be.
わかんないチョコレートの話それ。
Yeah, わかんない。Hi. All right, guys. Have a wonderful week, and we will see you in the next stream, hopefully, for lesson 3 on the other side. Thanks for hanging out today. I hope you have a great week.
みんなありがとうございます。
For those of you who are celebrating it. And we'll see you next time.
はい。
Hi. Ready?
はい。
せーの。また次のビデオで会いましょうね。はい。Bye bye. See you later, everyone. Thank you so much.
またね。
またね。Bye bye.